Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi, yes. Earlier today because I gotta finish this event before it ends tonight. Ha 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 ha. Totally not last minute at all. Oh my goodness, look at me, totally not procrastinating. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of dying from the heat. I took a nap, woke up kind of sweaty, and here I am. Ah ha ha. Hi. Hello there. It's like 80 something degrees in my room. It's okay though, it's fine. It'll get cooler eventually. At least I'm energized enough after my nap. So time for Carnival Charter. That's it. You people just don't know how to party. Yeah, last minute's always the best. It gives you extra excitement, especially for afterwards I gotta do those EX stages. November 9th, 12:05 p.m. And let's see what'll happen first. Me finishing this event or me turning into a pile of goo because of the heat. Pizza delivery from One More Slice. Pumpkin pepper, cheese, fries and sausage supreme. Devil's pepper and classic mozzarella. What the heck? I wanna try this. Pizza. Yeah, I got a fan on, but it's mainly for my laptop. Ugh. Eat up. Can't work on an empty stomach. This one's yours, Senor Emperor. Or should I call you Consultant instead?
Not bad. Soft and chewy crust, nice meaty flavor. You got a card for this pizzeria?
I made it myself at the dock worker's kitchen. I can write down the recipe for you if you want. No need to be shy, it's the least we can do. If not for your help, we couldn't possibly have fixed all the damaged floats before the parade tonight.
I'm just thinking how authentic Syracusan pizza might go over with the Arknights. Maybe apple pie could add it to the menu at the ends of the earth.
What about the senor who's singing while working? Should I call him over?
Hey, Big Mouth, over there, over here. This'll shut you up.
Nyam 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 nyam. Pizza.
I don't know what's worse, the way you break into song anywhere, that obnoxious singing voice of yours, or the song itself. I mean, what's that crap? You built that out while clapping together your building blocks in the jungle. Can't find the energy to work without song. Unlike you, who's just sitting there giving advice. I'm the one who has to put in the work and sweat. You got a reason to do that, I don't. It was your float that got its ass burned, wasn't it? It was bad enough that it didn't look cool at all, but how could they put me so close to that wolf? Well, all the other floats have their arms and legs stuck back in place. The only one that left is the wolf that's a pile of ash now. If you ask me, it makes more sense to spend the time making the other floats look cooler than rebuilding one float.
I wonder what song the High Priest is singing. And if he drives Zumama mad.
There are so many floats. Who would miss one wolf? Fair enough.
No, you can't do that. There are many legends of beasts in Syracusa, but the wolf is special. City Hall's already announced the number of floats and what they're based on. People get anxious if one's missing.
You know? Hey Fatso, stop stuffing that pie in my mouth.
Nyam nyam nyam.
Pineapple on pizza? Now that is what I call radical. Do all Syracusan cops have to learn to make pizza?
Oh no, my papa's a pizzeria in another city, and I used to help out there. We're pretty well known. When I was little, I dreamed about having branches all over Syracusa, even our own dedicated headquarters plate. Maybe you've heard of our ad? Noemi Pizza. One more slice, even when you're full.
Nope.
We never had the money to start a second one. Business was good, and no one dares to not pay for their food, but paying our protection fee takes up most of our profit. I came when I heard that Noble Senior Police Academy was recruiting. Maybe I'll be able to protect the shop once I become a cop. I know what you want to say. It sounds naive, doesn't it? Being a cop is much harder. And then there's all the trouble that's popped up these last couple days.
Think of this another way. Becoming a cop means you can change your slogan. Nomi Pizza, if it isn't good, you can lock me up.
I like that. Can we keep that for free? Oh.
You remind me of my Zumama. The young always had such simple goals and such strong motivation. This is all your fault, Fatso. I didn't even have time to tell Zumama I was coming here. Ain't many parties worth bringing us together, Big Mouth. Besides, we got serious business to talk about after the party.
Anyway, I really appreciate it. We were at our wits' end when you guys offered help. As for your compensation, I'll put in an application with the city hall as soon as the carnival's over.
We got our compensation already.
Emperor puts another pizza slice in his mouth. I was thinking of getting pizza earlier today, but then I got tired.
We'll see this through to the end. This is good pizza after all.
High Priest puts another pizza in his mouth.
Gotta admit, it gives me a warm and fuzzy feeling to see the wolf burn to ashes.
So you...
But it don't compare to the anger I feel when a good party gets ruined. Oh, cruel fate! All the other stalls are busy preparing to make a killing tonight. We're the only ones who have been given the death sentence. I don't care. You're eating all the losses. That's not fair. I did what I did with good intentions. I was trying to minimize the losses when the rain hit the other day. By getting the beer cart instead of the food drying in the courtyard out in the open, mistakes happen. The beer cart is fully enclosed and equipped with a functioning thermostat. Who cares if it gets a little rain on it? But you had to push it back, and now you cost me the spot that took me so much effort to get. No stall, no food. This ain't a carnival. It's my funeral. I should have stuck to movies. Yes, I had to deal with the mafiosi who all fancied themselves filmmakers, but at least I got to make a living. I shouldn't have listened to your tall tales and come here. You again.
I still love his sleeping mask. It is so beautiful. I still hate fighting this guy though.
You're still here? Did you fall asleep on the spot after that ice cream? Father! Father! I really should take a photo of you right now. So what's stopping you? I'll pay if it looks good. Huh? You said photo, right? Yeah. Today is the biggest day of Nobunaga. Everyone will show up fully dressed. Masks, costumes, and massive mysterious floats. Definitely something I would want to take a few photos of, for the memories. But I can't stop for something like that, not when the parade keeps rolling. Wouldn't it be great if there was a professional photographer who could do it in my stead? Besides, it's better business than competing with everyone else selling beer and ice cream. And to tell you the truth, your ice cream isn't that competitive. Not sweet enough.
I want to try that ice cream if it's not super sweet. I could use it right now. I'm sweating.
You heard the father. What are you still standing around for? Huh? What's happening now? Go and get the camera, and don't forget to buy a few more rolls of film. Thank you. Can't have two furs and one tail. Looks like this guy and I just don't match. Problems always float to the surface, and there are always ways to deal with them. I don't think there's a church in this town. Where'd you come out from, father? Montelupe. The capital. Did you come all this way for the carnival? An old friend asked me to see what it's all about. It's been a long time since Syracuse had something this big, after all. Like Lithuanian's Empress's celebration, which takes place every year and involves the entire country. It just gets bigger and bigger every year. Yes, it's been a long time since Syracuse had something this big. I hope it doesn't rain. It would make it so much harder to keep the peace.
Oh, and now back to the shop.
What are you doing, Senor Venetia? You're not using this cloth anymore, right? Picked it out of the discard pile. Just right for wiping my blade. I could get a piece of softer cotton cloth for you. No need for that. There'll be festivities in every street tonight. There's no need for you to stay at Taylor de Montano. I promised Vargo to solve your problem. You found Lucino and accompanied me to the Villa Venetia to bring him back. You've already helped me. You already helped so much. Thank you. There's no need to thank me, Umberto. You saved Lucino yourself by convincing Venetia Senior not to pursue the matter any further. Is he still shutting himself in the room? I haven't seen him. Don't tell me he ran away again. If he runs away, just let him. So much has happened over the past couple of days, and he's still young. He needs time to process things. Perhaps I've been too strict. Maybe he's just struggling with how to view you, his own grandfather, an old tailor, and once the terror of Syracusan dawns. Well, that's not important. What's important is how he views himself after he stood at death's door and learned about all these things in the past.
Ooh. Okay, barging in between a meeting for all the beast or all sorts of beast lords. Okay, the one who would stand out the most would, of course, would be Emperor. Just Emperor. Always Emperor. Next would probably be the High Priest, just because they're so silly looking. It's like, oh, hi, High Priest. Delicious. That Dungeon Meshi collab food. Delicious High Priest soup.
And he needs to figure it out. I don't have that much time left. Well, Signor Venetia, I bid you adieu. I bid you adieu. You already know, don't you?
What?
The culprit who hurt your daughter.
And why would you say that?
Did you forget I was once a killer too, Signor Venetia? Your weapon is sharp, it needs no honing, and you are not in the habit of doing so. When a killer starts polishing their blade, they're either planning to put it away forever or planning to put it in someone.
Fair point. More conjecture than proof at this point, but at least I have something. That's why I said you don't have to thank me.
You came to Novo Volsini and stayed here at De Montano to learn about the truth, who planned the assassination and who hurt Signorina Lisa. This is your agreement with Vargo, but if you have learned the answer, there's no reason to continue it. Besides, I don't have any intentions left. I don't have any troubles left to deal with.
The game is not over yet. The Fangs are still in the city. I've crossed blades with them. They may be young, but they fight well. If I can find them, they can find you. You're old and frail, Umberto. There can only be one end.
It's an end that's already looms large. There's nothing you can do. Tonight, at least, I wish to be alone and have a moment of quiet to myself.
I want Umberto to live. November 9th, 4 p.m.
Alright, we'll be going. Hey, new face. Where's the old dispatcher? Shift changed half an hour ago. He's probably in rehearsal right now. Huh? Didn't you know? He used to be a saxist at the Teatro di Milano. They recruited him for the parade. I see, he's keeping you in the dark so he can show off tomorrow when his face is in the newspapers. Stronzo. So you're on duty tonight? Yeah. Yep, I'm the new guy. On the bright side, the harbor's gonna be rather quiet because of all the festivities. I'll turn the radio up and feel the festive spirit from here. I would go if I were you. If you want to get a good place in the procession. Alright, be seeing you. Phew. You almost let it slip. How about you do it then? Hey, I don't got the acting experience. You're the one who's an extra in the Mirror's promotional video. It ain't the same thing. I was just being myself in the promo, and we could always do another take. Screw up just now, and all of Antonio's plans would have been blown. This is an important night for you and me, and for all of Venetia. Once the city is firmly under control, Antonio will be as good as his word. He'll support you in... What's the wording? Restoring the glory of Sicilia.
Oh gosh, are you gonna really trust him?
I hope I don't end up like Carl. What about our musicista? Playing a saxophone in hell, and that container over there. We'll deal with the body once the dust settles. You got the dispatch station then. Don't worry. Every vehicle that goes in and out of the port has to go through special checks. Venetia Trucking's trucks have been added to the list. The Nomadic City's positioning system has been turned off, with the exception of a single encrypted channel. Other than the Familia's landship, no vehicles will approach the city tonight. The rest of the boys are outside. Once the landship approaches the city and starts docking, everybody in Novo Volsini port who ain't part of this is gonna disappear. What about Antonio? You think the boss needs us to worry about him? A few hours left. Enjoy the night, Novo Volsini. Enjoy the true carnival.
Bit trite for an opening speech, don't you think? The voice came from above. The white wolf looks down at them from atop a crane, amusement on her face, surprise and shock on theirs. She frowns, like a listener who can no longer tolerate the performance.
Who are you? Have you been there? Have you been here all this time? Do her in, Gambino. Gotcha. I thought you said it was trite, but you're clapping.
You just gave me the first twist, didn't you? You know, I was kind of hoping you would try to... How do you put it? Do me in.
I wanted to, but I ain't about to do something doomed to fail.
Fair enough. Where's your little friend? Yeah, I would find it conflicting if one of the fangs is responsible for Umberto's end. Cause I do like Umberto. Current Umberto's just a good grandpa and an amazing tailor.
Capone, helping Venetia Jr. with some other stuff.
Sicilian's been busy, eh?
What do you want, Lapland? We've done enough for you. I can't. I mean, Venetia Jr. has put everything the Familia's built over the past year into this. At this point, even if you want to sabotage it, there's not much help I can do. There's not much I can do to help.
You still think you know me, Gambino? Why would I make things hard for an old, friend? Just do the job your boss told you to. What he's trying to do doesn't conflict with what I'm trying to do. Maybe I'm even trying to help him. It's Carnival, after all. The night when all the wonderful dreams we have about the city come true. That's why you didn't even need to kill this guy on the ground. Oops. You really shouldn't be so eager to prove that you're a villain. No wonder Capone's racking up citizen points so much faster than you.
Huh. What else do you want me to do?
I dropped something at the Villa Venetia. Bring it to me.
What is it?
A gift box.
You mean the one that the little tailor was?
Uh-huh. And get me a bunch of ribbons, balloons, spotlights, that kind of stuff. Hurry. Part 5. The Long Carnival. I mean, in a way, Lappy is kind of like an old friend. Just because I summoned her. Ahahaha. 200% trust. Look at us being old friends. The wolf and the pack. Not scary. 2 exits. Bunch of entrances, but it is what it is. Oh gosh, please don't have a ton of cars. I should have put in another defender. Too late. Once upon a time, there was a strange pink nightmare that roamed the Wild West. Its hide was black charcoal, its hair charred clouds, its horn twisted briar. Many were deceived by its beautiful mask, mesmerized by its sweet scent, falling into deep dreams, becoming its nourishment. The nightmare targeted Lupo children, once luring thousands of children away from a city in a single night. But the wise Syracusans came up with a way to fight the terrible pink nightmare. The nightmare was afraid of wolves. When you saw it, you'd simply cry "Wolf!" 3 times, and the nightmare would disappear without a trace. That is quite enough. I can't listen to any more of this. Oh, look at them! Look at how adorable their hangout is. I mean, oh my goodness, terrifying.
No need to get excited, Dolly. The musician isn't wrong. That's what Syracusan legends say about sheep. If you're not happy about it, you could always jump on top of his head from your sheep float. After all, no one will be surprised about anything that happens tonight, no matter how out of this world it is. Look, just like getting chased by wolves, playing hide and seek with them was one of the few hobbies I had during my time in Syracusa. How could they twist a story like that? Blasphemy. I say blasphemy. That ain't the word I picked for it.
Stop throwing cold water on our fun. How does the Syracusan see you, Emperor?
Tell him about the black-robed singer, Big Mouth. Well, once upon a time, there was a mafia don who loathed music and banned it in his city, until a penguin singer dressed in a black robe arrived many years later. When he started singing at the town square, the citizens, having no concept of music, found it too noisy and tried to catch the singer and hand him over to the don. But the singer was too quick and slippery, even for the most athletic young man. He continued to sing as more and more people joined the chase, which eventually turned into a great dance that engulfed the entire city. The singer sang for 3 days and 3 nights until the furious Don had enough and came to catch him personally. But the Don was caught in the revelry as soon as he walked out the door, and was never seen again.
Why does the Emperor get to sound like a brave, clever hero when he's not even half as wise as I am?
It ain't about wisdom, it's about Graf Penguin's attitude towards music, freedom and struggle. You never did listen to the albums I signed for you, did you? Let's go. We're getting in the way.
Plays excitedly. Juggles excitedly. Plays even harder. Shows off skills.
Achille? Where's my Achille?
Did you just realize you've been walking with a stranger for half an hour, Signora? Oh, I recognize your voice. You're the judge from Tourney. I'm so sorry. The Lake of Emilia made me lie in court.
Taps mask. All water under the bridge, Signora. Remember the rules of Carnival? Look around at the sea of smiles around you. Fool and king, queen and priest, all the same in their masks. Forget the scores of the past, and let us toast to the future of Nova Volsini.
The crowd passes by, 3 aristocrats of beasts, as Dolly's clones meander through the sea of people. All can see them, no one shows any surprise. I like that. They're not even hiding. Oh man. Okay, at first I'd wanna be able to walk around bottom grabbing food and drink. And then eventually heading up higher to see the parade better. In this ocean of revelry, not a single sea spray feels out of place. A dozen massive floats from an orderly row, carrying the visages of wolf, sheep, penguin, cat, dog, legendary beasts have come together in the city to lead the procession. Okay, so which is the cat? So we know the wolves. We know the sheep, penguin. I mean, cat and dog. The streets are brimming, nay overflowing, with plays and improvised performances. Musicians and acrobats seem locked in competition to outdo one another, forcing food cart owners to raise their voices even higher to peddle beer, pizza, and ice cream. Oh, okay. Meal and Wolf. Okay, that makes sense then. This is even more exciting than an active volcano.
Better than the old Carnival. Even Fatso didn't enjoy that kind of party. Please don't dirty the word party by using it on a mafia-masked murder fest. One tree doesn't bear 2 fruits. The Syracusans are just like those wolves. Thousands of years ago, we left the wolves out of our parties because those dumbass pups didn't know nothing but fighting and killing. So they came up with their own game. Lucky the Syracusans are smarter, and they decided that there's things worth celebrating besides in killing and fighting for territory. As for the wolves that don't know how to change, they sense the same thing that we do. They know something is not right. We're kindred after all. There are certain things that we need to talk about. I've met the ones that are less stupid, but they won't listen to anyone until their stupid game is done. Well, they've got a saying in Yan, and it means basically, when in Londinium, do as the Londiniers do. Now, if this is a party, the Syracusans better not let me down.
Maybe I'll get some pizza tomorrow. I'm debating. November 9th, 9:25 p.m. And hello, hello. Wind brushes against Dimitri's cheeks. The windows of the ward were closed when he left yesterday, and Lavinia had instructed the nurse to keep close eyes on the temperature in this autumn season. But he sees only an empty bed when he looks up.
It's been a while, Dimitri.
I'm sorry, Senor Balone. This man insisted on coming in. I tried calling City Hall and the courts to reach Judge Lavinia, but I couldn't get through.
It's okay, you can leave. When did you wake up?
The bright lights illuminate the skies and shine upon the hospital ward. The noise of the crowd can be clearly heard through the window. Leontuzo stands next to the window, gazing down at the city in revelry. He woke up just in time. He has changed out of his patient's clothes, and there's no hint that he was in a coma not so long ago.
A few hours ago. You know, I thought we were meeting up at the restaurant, not a hospital. Good, you still remember what you were doing before the accident. Looks like it didn't damage your brain. Tisk. You sure didn't lose any time to get dressed as soon as you woke up. Don't tell me you plan on attending the festivities. Surely the nurses have told you that you need to lie down and get some rest. You're still wrapped in bandages underneath those clothes, aren't you? Just a little lightheaded. Got some pills for it, and I feel much better now. Hundreds of thousands of citizens will be in the streets tonight, celebrating the one-year anniversary of Nuovo Volsini. The original plan calls for a parade to start from the expansion plate, travel through 23 streets across 9 plates, where it will be joined by various festivities. At midnight, they'll arrive at Court Square, where I will address the crowd and welcome a new day together with them. City Hall has a contingency plans. Your inauguration can surely wait until you're in better shape. Do you really think that, Dimitri?
Leontuzo turns around.
Lavinia has yet to announce the cancellation of the speech. I don't think it's because she forgot to. I have a rough idea what's been going on these few days. The car accident at the port district. Then the fire at Nuovo Volsini port. What will the citizens think if the mayor misses tonight's scheduled event? If Carnival concludes without a hitch, then the worst thing that comes out of my absence is that I lose a few approval points. But if this is something hidden underneath, but if there is something hidden under that bright light outside the window, I need to be at the scene.
Poor Leon.
Let's reschedule our dinner to another day. Today. The Carnival has begun. The whole city is busy. Didn't you hear the doctor? Neither City Hall nor the courts are answering the phone calls. I'm afraid they have their hands full right now. I brought some people with me. We can escort you to the scene. You don't have a choice, Leon. If you know what's been happening the past few days, then you have at least an inkling of what's going on between me and Saluzzo. But you didn't bring it up. I have some things I want to tell you. I have to tell you. Today's a chance.
Leontuzo gazes at his old friend. The threat in Dimitri's words are thinly veiled. After a brief moment of silence, Leontuzo extends his hand.
I'll be counting on you then, Dimitri. Just like old times.
Ooh, for Lancers for Grail. Oh man, that's tough. That is very tough. How are you feeling, Grandma?
You're lost, my child. I'm looking for the last true wolf. I wasted too much time. Easy, my child. It's not your fault. Grandma's taught you how to tell the scent of a true wolf's pelt. But the last true wolf is clever. He is a weaver of pelts, hiding his scent perfectly. He is a...
Oh heck yeah, 120 Iori and alcohol.
Taylor. Grandma guides me. I will find the true wolf. Wait for me, Grandma. De Montano.
Ooh, that's a lot of grails. I still gotta give more grails to Jason and give more grails to Ark.
Oh, Jude. What is it, Ludmilla? Red Hood. That one again, where?
The alley up ahead. I could recognize it from a mile away.
Man, we were just talking a minute. And we were just taking a minute to change the tires, and now you run into her again? You want to go after her? Let's get back in the truck. Irene's waiting for us.
Good job, Lumilla. Do not go after her. Not again. You say that every time you see her, something bad happens. Just ignore. I love that. Just as our Destiny Summon will pick your Lancer for you. Like, legit, it is gonna be Destiny. Oh, man.
I left Summer at the accident scene the last time in order to go after her, which just seemed to lead to all this crazy shit. You know what's funny? I keep running into bad luck, just like I keep running into her. It's like a curse I couldn't shake. It's a brutal pack of wolves that we're facing today. I've seen what they're capable of. That's why I need to be with you guys, this time. Well, nothing for you to be ashamed of. The bastard taunted you when you tried to take revenge and killed your mentor. You're way calmer than I would be if I was in your shoes. You know what? Once we get all this crap out of the way tonight, we'll come with you to find her, beat her up, and tie her behind a truck so that she gets to know what the dust tastes like. Nobody messes with our ragazza. With our ragazza, so fortunata.
Huh. Well, let's get going. That's actually kind of cute. They're like, no worries, girl. We got your back.
Damn it, boss. This place is hard to find. Our guys are in position, but are you sure you don't want to be unseen at a time like this? Come, look. Court Square. Man, this house is so close to Court Square. I took so many turns on my way here that I thought I ended up in another district. Hell, I could see the posters on the courthouse windows. Well concealed, but offers a perfect view of the square and the surrounding streets. I'll be giving orders in real time from right here, until the dust settles. How'd you get your hands on such a prime real estate in such a short time? It's been under my name for a long time. I bought it soon after I came to Nova Volsini. I come here from time to time when I wanted some time off. To stare at the courthouse and city hall. How are things with the old man? No problems. The estate's crowded, and they've got enough whiskey, cigars, and classic records to keep him busy all night. The port? Gambino got everything set up. Our landship is the only thing that's coming to the city tonight. It's almost time. Come to think of it. All our vehicles are being deployed around Nova Volsini port. The goods will be delivered to every associate of the Familia once the landship is docked. Then it's up to us. Where's the parade procession? The new art district, where all the theaters and entertainment establishments are. There's a lot of performances on the streets and activities for visitors to interact with the floats. At least an hour until it gets here. We have a small number of select Familia associates nearby, equipped with the weapons that we had smuggled in. The square is undermanned, with most of Nova Volsini's police keeping order along the parade route. Suppress the courthouse and the other administrative buildings quickly and efficiently. With the port and the courthouse in our hands, and the supplies from the landship, Familia Venetia will become the de facto rulers of Nova Volsini. It's time for Nova Volsini to wake up from revelry. I just thought of something. City Hall's plan calls for the parade to be welcomed at the square by Leontuzo's inaugural speech, where he's gonna talk about stuff like the New Order and Syracuse's future and whatever. You gonna say something too when they're welcomed by fully armed associates of Familia Venetia? There's no need, Capone. If you need to think about something, think about whether you still remember how to use a weapon after all the time we spent working at a vehicle company. All good. I know your history, Capone. The Sicilians started the first city-state war in the history of Syracuse. You looted through the city, pointing your weapons at all who would resist or speak up, and harvested the tails of the vanquished with sickles. That was Syracuse's first carnival, even though the name came later. This is your chance to prove that the history of Syracuse began with you, Sicilian. Well, that sort of talk is better for Gambino. He's the one who could never stop talking about Sicilians. Lungmen Volsini, Nova Volsini. We've gone from one place to another over the years. The Sicilians fell on hard times after Signora Sicilia abandoned her familia. Which is why I've never forgotten how to pull a trigger. Good, good. Do it.
Oh gosh. Ooh. Betty Enma, John Archer, Melu, Da Vinci Rider, Ilya, Kama. X-Alter, Arc Draco. Those are some good Destiny 7 picks. Oh man, I want another arc. I need another arc. I have to go for another arc. Happy Carnival, senor. Have a balloon.
Thanks. Hey, wait a minute. Is the parade here already? I thought I would hear from the folks at the earlier stops. Gurg! You're... Slower in the uptake than I thought.
What do you think was gonna happen? This ain't Senor Mayor's promotional video, where we go to the ground as soon as a cop tags us.
They've been on the job for what, 1 year? There's no Familia Nuova Volsini.
Did you think they would have the skill or the guts to put their head on the line, when all they do is issue traffic tickets? Unknown, Carnival Participant C. Left side of the square is clear.
Right side, same here. The road that connects to the courthouse and the administrative building is secure. No survivors.
Oh no, no survivors. Arc makes you go for the Melu bag. Melu will take you to the Arc bag. Legit?
Caught a few paper pushers as they were coming out. Damn, one got away and went back into the courthouse. Alright, no complaining. It's time. Do it.
Well, what time is it, Texas?
11. Here's your whiskey with ice.
Thanks.
You've been looking at these route maps over and over again, Lavinia. Take a break.
The area around the square has been cleared of all non-relevant personnel. Traffic controls is in effect for the new art district to the courthouse. All that's left is to wait for the procession.
What's your decision?
To an extent, I do kind of feel for the talk earlier for Capone and Gambino being like, maybe we should have stayed in Lungman after all.
You're not concerned that would cause a panic at the last Texas who makes the midnight speech rather than the acting mayor as originally planned?
No, I'm not. Every float tonight is themed after a legendary beast, however mysterious or cruel, and many citizens have put on masks to play the wolf pack. Beast or man, they will walk together tonight in Nova Volsini. I can think of nothing more appropriate for the Carnival than having the last Texas give a speech to the citizens about better future. And I can think of no one else who could take Leon Tuzo's place as a guest of honor.
Alright, let me see the draft again.
I'm sorry, Texas, but I need to prepare for all possible contingencies.
You've looked on edge since you came back from the truckers' camp. I've done what I could in the time that I had, but the threat hasn't been eliminated tonight.
When is the Destiny Summon and Lucky Bags? Like, how much time is there to mentally prepare? Judge Lavinia?
What's the matter? Is that blood on your clothes?
A large group suddenly showed up at the square. They took out the police.
Who are they?
I couldn't tell. They were all dressed up in costumes and wearing carnival masks. But they look like they're ready to charge into the courthouse.
Get your wounds treated. I'll check it out.
No, Judge Lavinia, they're all over the square. If you go out now...
If that's the case, hiding here won't do any good. I'm with you. Good.
Lavinia, time to bring out the bonk hammer. Okay. In about 2 months. Alright, alright. Oh yeah, speaking of anniversary. Oh man, you know, I've decided I want to go to Anime Expo. I wonder how it's gonna be regarding like the Fate Grand Order stuff there. And what kind of merch they'd have.
Stay here, Lavinia. I'll deal with what's going on outside. Irene? It's all wise guys. They want this building and the Supreme Justice. You. I'm here to protect you. Protect me? How? What the?
Lavinia rushes to the window. I mean, I'll always want you an anniversary, but my heart goes to summer, especially because last year was brutal. I was hoping I'd at least get someone else besides Lady Avalon for the SSRs last summer, but you know, at least she liked me. The pack of beasts that had laid dormant in the darkness begins their hunt. Elaborately dressed, masked figures emerge from the alleys and approach the courthouse in orderly formation, quickly making their way through the police lines, and no further. A truck appears out of nowhere, coming to a screeching stop in their path. The police barricade that it sent flying makes a dull sound as it hits the ground. Then a second and a third, as truck after truck barge into the square. Demonstrating surprising coordination, they form a tight line between the oncoming crowd and the courthouse, and stopping in its tracks like a dam stops the tide. That's what it feels like. They really are becoming like another summer banner, which hurts. They won't get near the courthouse for a while. You know, having Truckoo on your side is like extra powerful. I feel like I've seen this before. Perhaps you've seen City Hall's promotional video for Signor Bellone. Insurgent mafiosi block off the courthouse with trucks, creating an area in the city where the police cannot reach, allowing them to exact wanton violence. That was the inspiration. I wouldn't have thought of it if I wasn't part of the shoot. Irene closes the window. Time is short, Lavinia. There's much that we need to resolve. Fight, fight, fight! But yeah, too many good banners. Oh, the struggle is real. Way too many good banners in general. Ooh, I hate these trucks. I hate them, I hate them, I hate them. It's fine though, it's fine. EC19. Oh gosh. One, two, three, four, five. You know, let's just put right here. Ooh, that's a good amount of pools so far. Very nice. True. Need more bond. Okay, one truck's gonna get through. It's okay though. That's just how it is, unfortunately. Or more than a truck. Wait, what went through? Oh shoot, people are going through. Oh well, I gotta redo it anyway, so whatevs. Aw, man. This be fine. Oh, it's the flame dancers now. Oh, wonderful, lovely. Yeah, luckily, there's still time for this event. Got until, what? 1 AM here. It's only 6:46 PM here. So at least try the X stages later on tonight. There is hope in the world. Okay, so far so good. And done. Woohoo! Stare. November 9th, 11 PM. I mean, 11:10 PM specifically. What is this? A list of people who have been... a list of people who have been coercing drivers to smuggle contraband into the city, compiled from the truckers' testimonies. It's the same people behind the accident that night, the fire at Nuovo Volsini Port, and the insurrection on the square that's happening right now. The Mafia. I see.
You should have told me about the things that happened to the truckers' union. I went to the camp yesterday but didn't find you. Ooh, it's almost 1 a.m. over there already? Oh, dang. Sweet dreams. Good night, good night. It's too late for that now, Your Honor. The important thing right now is to put these people on trial. Trial? They want to take over the courthouse and eliminate their greatest threat before Carnival is done. First, Signor Leontuzo, then you, Judge Lavinia. They're no longer citizens of Noble Volsini. They have violated everything that the new Urban Management Act stands for. The evidence is right before you. The drivers are the witnesses. Signorina Texas here belongs neither to the government, the Familie, or the Truckers' Union. She's eminently qualified to be the jury. And you're the Supreme Justice of Novo Volsini. The conditions have been met for emergency judicial procedures. Did I get the terms right? Under extreme circumstances, the courts may, when the basic conditions have been fulfilled, try persons who present a significant risk to the public security of Novo Volsini in absentia. Dang, Irene, she did so much research. Holy cow! Ooh, a new tower event, eh? Oh, that's exciting! The most important matter at hand is to bring the situation under control, to ensure the safety of the citizens and the smooth progress of Carnival. That's what I'm here for, Your Honor. Deliver your judgment, and the Truckers' Union will carry it out. Is that so? This list of names you gave me. It's a little too detailed, Irene. Venetia Saluzzo, Medici Leoti, Genovese. Are all these familia on the square outside? Nobody in this list is innocent, Your Honor. If emergency judicial procedures are activated, once I sign this verdict, everyone on this list becomes an outlaw under the new Urban Management Act. By law, anyone may apprehend, even execute them at their own discretion, without legal consequence. Oh dang, it's gonna turn into a manhunt. Oh, this is gonna be... It's gonna be interesting, especially... I mean, look at that list. So... everyone on the list becomes an outlaw and anything can happen to them. Oh man. Well. Venetia, Saluzzo, Medici, Leoti, and Genovese. Venetia and Saluzzo, though. Well. Oh, that's gonna be fun. The present situation is not enough for me to justify such a measure. But they're here for you, Lavinia, and they're not coming with good intentions. That may be true, Irene, but what intentions are you coming here with? Why have you surrounded this courthouse with all these trucks? Is it to protect a friend, or to take the opportunity to solve all the problems you're facing? When you came to camp yesterday, I was trying to find Sommer's body. Thank you for remembering him. Yes, he's dead. I mobilized a lot of people, but we never found his body. I don't know who killed him, but I know he or she is out there in the darkness below. It's not every one man or woman who killed him. It's a shadow that has always hung above our heads. One that has continued to stalk us, even after coming to this new city. I want the murderers to get the punishment they deserve. I want to protect the rest of them, and prevent the same fate from befalling anyone else. That's my intention, Your Honor. I should go. They're not used to this kind of stuff. I gotta be by their side. I know it's a lot to take in at once, and you need time to process. I'll make sure you're not disturbed, but don't take too long. Ooh, 3 Bond Grails. What's going on, ambush? Did City Hall know about our plans? I saw the leader go to the courthouse. She must have gone to see the judge. What you scared of? It's trucks, not tanks.
Bro, Capone. Truckoon. You never hear Tankoon. Truckoon is the true villain.
The government's so scared, they have to hide behind a bunch of truckers. Forget them. We're going in. Irene, what do we do? Give her some time. Signor e Signori, I know who you are, and I know what you're planning. I suggest you go no further. It's quite a scene. I never imagined there would be a festival in Syracuse like this, where everybody's a part of it. It's because the city belongs to all of them. Tell me, Leon, in those grand dreams of yours, how many cities like this will there be in Syracuse? You're quiet. It's not like you. Just thinking about whether I should give you an actual figure or just say all of Syracuse. If Nuova Volsini is the only place where this legal system, this new order without the familia exists, then it'll be nothing but a lonely island in the ocean. This is something that Lavinia and I have taken to heart. One lonely island is a swamp matters little. One lonely island and a swamp matters little. Before that, though, I must demonstrate this to Signora Cecilia that this is possible in Syracuse.
Ooh, exchanges are fun. Oh, that's good to know.
How many people? How many things will you leave behind in the process? You haven't changed one bit, Leon. You're firm, unwavering, and very talkative when you talk about your dreams. But I'm not interested in engaging in a philosophical debate about the future of Syracuse with you here. In the past few months, City Hall has rejected all applications by businesses associated with the Ballones. You're behind it, aren't you? I won't deny it. I can understand why you did it. You wanted to separate yourself in the past to demonstrate the purity of City Hall. Who's the one who hasn't let the Familia go? You remember how some associates of the Familia chose to stay 1 year ago, even after the most left because of what the old man did. What you don't know is that, as we discussed where we would go from there was an unanimous agreement from the remaining associates to keep the Balone name. Even the name put a target on our backs for the other Familiae, for all of our enemies, and gave us trouble after trouble, even if it forced us to seek new opportunities in Nuova Volsini. They don't regret it. They lived together, fought together, and bled together under the Balone name. Carved out our own bit of turf together, earned the respect of everyone together. Not even the betrayal of the Don and his heir could shake this sense of belonging. You and the Don want to do away with the old and bring in the new, to change this country from the foundation. How admirable, how determined. But isn't it a little cruel? If there's no room in your great ambitions for the Fratelli, who have had your back all this time, who had gone through hell and high water with you? They respect you, Leon, but they're also disappointed. Yes, disappointed, you knew. How cold of you, Leon Tuzo. If Nuova Volsini rejects purely because the mayor was once the heir of the Balone, because of the potential backlash that permitting this entry of Balone business might bring, the problem can be solved by taking you out of the equation. You men are in place nearby. The reveling crowd pays us no heed. It's not hard for you. Barely an inconvenience. I said a year ago that I'm responsible to those left behind. I'd intended to tell you this that night at the restaurant. I've had to push it back for a few days. I didn't have anything to do with your accident, Senor Mayor. But I will not hesitate to get you out of our way if you become an obstacle to us. I believe it. You were never the joking type. So, what's the sound? An even bigger float. Did the City Hall plan for a surprise for the parade?
Oh no, another truckoon? Time to get right over again? I don't know how many of you are skulking out there tonight, but I can tell you pretty much every driver from the guild is here. Be it full members or temporary contractors.
Ha! Strength in numbers, she says. What's next? You whip out a spanner from the trunk or something? I'll tell you what, get out of my sight right this instant, all of you, and I'll pretend I didn't see you tonight.
I never thought we could stop you through strength of numbers alone. A bunch of haulers who could hardly hold their own in a drunken brawl, much less fight to the death. Legs already hard enough. There's too much in life that we have to give up. You've proven one thing. The Familia will never give a second thought about us. Not then, not now, not ever. Continue to cower, and we'll continue to see his blood. And all we'll continue to see is blood. Our own, our friends, our families.
It's been a full 10 minutes. Can you reach Gambino? No, I ain't getting through at all. Something's not right. The landship should have reached the rendezvous point and made port, and the convoy should have been on their way already, but there's no movement at the docks at all. Are you going to listen to the driver talk until morning, Capone? They're just a bunch of haulers, Antonio. Are you sure? They're in the way, Capone. What's going on? Feels like the whole plate is shaking. It came from the direction of the port. Hey, that way. That's our land ship, right?
A balloon escapes the thread that bound it and rises into the air for a dozen seconds until it comes to an abrupt end when it meets a corner at the top of a massive object. It is a custom-built cargo landship, a massive vehicle that travels from city to city, its enormous, resilient hull, able to protect massive amounts of cargo from catastrophe and hazardous terrain. It is not an object that one would expect to see inside a city, but has forced its way into Nobunaga by brute force, its tracks crushing the ground underneath it, sending gravel flying. It tears buildings apart like paper as it brushes past them, and the resultant rubble falls from the city like a rain of stone. Well, it shows no sign of stopping even as it enters the square, casually brushing aside the trucks that surround the courthouse, while mafioso and the truck drivers alike scatter, fleeing for their lives. Finally, slowing, the landship comes to a rumbling halt. That was when they noticed that there were ribbons and balloons all over this behemoth of steel, meant to roam the wilderness. It is here for the festival. Ciao. Why so serious, wolf pups? It's Carnival. Time to celebrate and party. Be it admonishment or taunt, all could hear the voice coming from the deck of the landship. The white wolf removes her mask. No one can take their eyes off her. Oh, I love this. Aw, look at her! She changed her outfit just for this. Beams from spotlights sweep away the darkness around her. The tactful night breeze brushes open the bright red on her shoulder. Oh, I love this. The best tailor in Syracuse has weaved roses and blood into the dress of the white wolf, equally at home on stage or in the wilds. This is perfect for Lappy. Seemingly satisfied with the reaction of the audience, of mafioso and truck drivers, Lapland delivers her brightest smile and takes a graceful bow. I wonder how her dad's gonna feel. Shall we dance? Fall behind, lose your tail. Well, why are you standing there like a bunch of statues? The least you could do is blow a kiss or two. This is the final stop of the Night of Wonders. What are you doing if you're not welcoming the parade with the greatest show of them all? Oh, I see. Most of you still empty-handed. My bad, my bad. A game's got to be fair and a performance has got to be grand. Thankfully, someone has prepared the props ahead of time. Music begins to play and Lapland puts her foot forward to the rhythm, acting like she owns the place. She kicks box after box off the deck. All the while, she never stops talking. The boxes break apart in midair, sending their contents scattered across the plaza. Arts units, guns, staves, crossbows, or Originium explosives. It is a rain of weapons that falls everywhere. All one has to do is stretch out their hand to pick up the raindrops. The dots. Don't be shy, don't be shy. It's what you've been waiting for, what you've been looking for, isn't it? Yeah, props. Mm-hmm. Lappy is truly just enjoying the show. She's literally here just for the festivities. No rush, no hurry. There's plenty for everybody. The night is young, Nova Volsini.
The White Wolf of Saluzzo has hijacked our landship. Is this Alberto's doing? No. The use of the landship was a last-minute decision. Alberto hasn't shown any sign of intervening, other than the two of us butting heads on the matter of the Truckers' Union. What is that Lapland thinking? She's not doing this just for fun, is she?
She is! Just for fun!
Still can't get through to Gambino. You better pray he's still alive. No need to be anxious. Lapland just spared us the effort of delivering the weapons to the square. Other than the commotion being a little bigger than expected, things are going largely according to plan. I'm going to the docks. Lapland is just one lupo. Even if something did happen at the Novo City port, there'll be enough time to deal with it. You take care of things here at Court Square. Get the guys in the adjacent districts to come towards Court Square. Take inventory and make sure the goods are delivered properly. The city's brain and heart is what's really important. Once it's under control, everything else will fall into place. You got it. I had the boys clear a path that takes you away from the parade and the cops, so that you can get into the Nuovo City port in the shortest amount of time. The route has been sent to your terminal. I'm on my way. Capone? Was it easy to get you out of the shadows, boss? Is betrayal a proud Sicilian tradition too? Where are you wagging your tail to? City Hall, Saluzzo? Or one of the other familiae who's trying to take advantage of the situation in the city? Oh. Just putting you in touch with somebody who wanted to meet you.
Antonio hears footsteps behind him. He turns around and sees a familiar figure at the end of the alley, walking slowly towards him.
As for your question, you weren't such a bad boss, you know. Temperamental, but sharp. I actually felt pretty guilty when the crazy Lapland came knocking. Glad I don't feel that way now, thanks to that one. The Familia got 100 ways to deal with enemies and traitors. Cut their tongues, slit their throats, bury them alive with their families. We're villains through and through, and there ain't much we wouldn't do. But no Familia would raise a hand against honest folk who pay their protection money. What? Times may change, but there's some rules in Syracuse that never do. I guess when all's said and done, you're still a Bolivarian, Antonio. That was quick. You need to get your news faster. I was waiting nearby all this time. Still, thank you. If you want to thank someone, thank Lapland. Not that I got any clue what she's planning. If I get a chance, need a hand, you can go. Ingrid.
Well, time to bonk him. Texas stands on the roof of one of the administrative buildings. She came here from the courthouse's rooftop. The night wind rustles her clothes. She tries to keep herself pressed against the fence as she moves towards her mark, ignoring the commotion on the ground. The land ship. It's registered with Venetia Trucking. They secretly brought an entire ship full of weapons. It's no longer a secret. Lapland's actions threaten to cause the situation to spiral out of control. Maybe that's what she wants. Never expected an attention-seeking lone wolf to act rationally. It's not me that Lapland is after this time. I'm concerned she might not stop at this. She once said that all Syracuse is her enemy. Go, Texas. Oh, that would be funny. Yeah, to pay back the favor, I want to hang with your daughter. It's like, nope. Hello, hello. Oh man, I'm tired today. It's hot. But you'll be by yourself. Not much we can do here. Trapped in the courthouse. The best we can do is neutralize potential risks as best as we can. Both Venetia and the Truckers Union are here for me. That's why I must stay. Besides, I can't really move like you do. I don't think Irene intends to do anything to me, for the time being at least. As for Lapland, leave it to me. The landships tore up the ground, the square's in mayhem, and the courthouse doors blocked. How will you get to her? Texas suddenly misses her friends at Penguin Logistics. Croissant would bash a path through the chaotic crowd with a shield. Apple Pie would probably come up with something even more outlandish. Texas takes one look to estimate the direction. She takes a deep breath and takes a leap of faith. Laps. What a dramatic entrance, Texas! What? Not happy that I stole the show? Why would I be when you're so eager to come and see me? Did you break your leg? Do you need a doctor? Well, it's not like a doctor could get here in this mess. Just find a place and sit down. Sit where? You've turned the deck into a stage? Did you seriously get this costume custom made for this? Just for this? It's the Carnival after all. Looks better than what you're wearing, doesn't it? Hey, Gambino! Panting. Have you given out all the candy?
There's a little left in the hold.
Go deal with the candy thief in the hold. I think he came up with you. Leave the front row seats for me in Texas. Lappy's just enjoying life to the best of her ability. Look, the poor child. The box cracked next to him, and a whole box of weapons spilled into his arms. See how he stares with a mouth agape. Does he not know how it works? The ones in the masks have seen him. He raises the gun in his hand by instinct.
Finally talking, Caesar.
What did you think? It's not just I who didn't want to speak. Agnes, Vargo. We're ready to rip your throat out until your little pup showed up. Is this what that Lapland wanted to show us? Only a little better than those colorful streets and flippant fireworks. Does a human game refer to how those humans that refuse to remove their absurd masks and show their true face? Is this worth all the Signori de Lupi gathering here tonight?
Are you anxious, Caesar?
Well, Vargo is the one who should be anxious right now. Thanks to your help, Red should be paying a visit to the Taylor de Montano as we speak.
I'm ashamed of you, Zaro. Ha! Is that an emotion worthy of the Signori de Lupi, Vargo? Besides, you're the one who broke the rules first. You interfered directly in the game. The killer that you had the Higashi dog find and attacked the fangs of Caesar and Agnes in public.
Hey, hello. Hello.
Humph.
There have been too many irregularities in this round. Agnes, Vargo, is a position shared by more than one kindred. The game itself must be reviewed, but... The wolves that laid lazily upon the deck suddenly spring up. With Caesar, the Signor de Lupi surround Vargo and Agnes, shifting up and crouching while bellowing belligerently. If not for the night wind that drowned out the sound of the Signor de Lupi's hunt, those on the ground would have been overwhelmed by terror beyond fathoming.
Well, after all these years, we're going back to using our literal fangs.
Shut up, Zaro. The last 3 fangs have revealed themselves. The Signor de Lupi shall stay here until this round is decided, and shall not intervene in any manner. Any violation will be exempt from the pack, and be punished in the most cruel way for eternity. The pack has spoken!
Let us watch with patience. We will see if the human game is truly so much more interesting, as Lapin said.
I like how Lapin just wants to put on a play for them.
Vargo? Didn't nobody tell you that by the rules of Syracusa, sneaking to somebody else's turf gets your leg cut off at the knee? Now get out of those boxes and go sit in a corner.
It's you who just sit down, big guy.
Oh, it's you, the little de Montano Taylor. So after I spared your life, you tell me to the Nova Volcini port and sneaked into this landship? You got talent on this front, I'll give you that. I wouldn't have known that you were smuggling so much weapons into the city if I didn't. What's Venetia Jr. planning? What do you think? Have you any idea how many people will die? Didn't you want to join a familia and become somebody? Never thought about what somebody had to do to get there. Nono was right. Somebody like Like you keep ordering new clothes because they keep getting soaked in blood. You're no big shot. No one's too good for people like you. If I was you, I'd listen to my nono, swallow my tears, and learn how to sew buttons. I won't let you. Who's gonna stop me? You. Get back!
Lucino kicks open a plank. Red sewing threads nimbly weave through it, with Lucino holding the end.
Explosives. You learn them from movies. All the originating explosives are connected by this thread. All I need to do is pull it, and these weapons will burn to ash. You know what's gonna burn to ash? You. Or you give up the dream of becoming a familiar somebody. Decide to be a hero who teaches a familiar lesson. Sure, the headlines will all be talking about the young hero Lucino who saved Nuovo Volsini. Maybe you'll get a medal from the mayor. You won't be that little tailor anymore. Everyone will tip their hats when they see you on the streets. That's enough, pup. I don't got time to play. What I want to be when I grow up with you. I don't need that. What are you talking about? I caused trouble. I'll deal with it myself. Nobody needs to know. Lucino de Montano won't spend his entire life as a nobody. Maybe he'll never be more than a tailor, but right now, I don't think so. I don't like the way you were talking, big guy. Don't look down on tailors. You don't know what we can do with a needle and a thread. Humph. You know, kid, I'm starting to like you. You remind me of me when I was a pup. Huh? Two things was common knowledge by the time I got old enough to know my own name. Cecilia is the oldest familia in Syracuse, and it ain't around no more because of Signora Cecilia. All who try to curry favor with Signora Cecilia came up empty, and all who tried to revive the familia were banished. The name Sicilian was a big fat joke. But it became my label without my say-so, just how everyone calls you, Little Tailor. That's why I told myself I was gonna be somebody. All Syracuse is gonna know is the name Gambino Ricci, the Sicilian. And how'd that go? Didn't go.
Awkward.
If you just want Venetia Jr. to suffer, he's suffering enough right now. The ship ain't under his control. You're barking up the wrong tree, kid. You see that crazy bitch on the deck? Stay clear of her, she's trouble.
Wow. Is that any way to talk about Lappy, Gambino?
You think I believe?
I'm just too young, thought Lucino would have happened. Gambino had been drawing closer and closer. Even worse, Lucino had accidentally snapped the thread in his panic. But there was no explosion, nothing. Everything was obscured by fog. The next instant, he saw Gambino floating in midair. Then he finds himself in midair too, falling off the landship and heading straight towards the ground. He seems to hear a faint sigh. Vargo? Kazo, what's wrong with that white wolf? What is she doing? Form up and pick up the weapons. Have the guys nearby join up here. Get a group to board with the landship. It belongs to us.
Gotcha. Stop right there. Irene's orders. Nobody gets through. Murda, when will these haulers learn to give up?
Well, looks like we won't be disturbed for a while. What's that look on your face? I was expecting more gratitude for exposing the Familia plot to bring violence back to Nuovo Volsini. Maybe even a medal. Like this? This is not Samhain and Lungmen, Lapland. And those arts units explosives aren't candies. Hundreds of mafiosi are trying to take over the courthouse and city hall. And there are many out there in their revelry who want to see things get worse. You know what this means as well as I do. The Familia haven't changed their ways and incite another civil disorder. That Nuovo Volsini isn't really any different from the other 22 nomadic cities in Syracuse. Or that Carnival is finally living up to its name. There are almost 1,000 truck drivers in the square. The mafiosi are picking up the weapons, and these ordinary folk have to do the same in order to protect themselves. Why did you decide to come down from the sky, Texas? Who blocked the courthouse doors? The mafiosi are not the only ones wearing masks in the square. Familia Venetia has been plotting to take over the city with these weapons. You need to discover their plot. Those drivers need to protect themselves. All I did was bring out into the open what everybody wanted. You know how much I hate chess players. I prefer to put my foot down on the chessboard. Tonight is Carnival. It is a time to review the progress that this new city has made in the past year. Everyone has a right to express their views and their demands about it, don't they? Candy alone isn't enough to make everybody happy. Look over there. No rush, Texas. I know you have a lot of questions, but why don't we make a bet first? Not interested. I'll take that as a yes. You were always more alert, more vigilant than anyone. You never claimed to have high and lofty ideals, but you have a funny way of ending up on whichever side stood for justice, whether in Yan or Syracuse. This time now is 11:30. The parade procession will arrive at Court Square in 15 minutes. Who do you think will fire the first shot? Will hundreds of thousands of Nuevo Bolsinians see two groups lining the streets to welcome them in perfect peace and harmony? Or will they see the streets run red with blood and bring this truly Syracusan festival to a climax? I've seen the weather forecast. Clear skies are expected tonight. There'll be no rain to wash away the blood. It's gonna end wonderfully with just happiness and fireworks, power, friendship, totally. Haha. Let's just ignore this is called gunshot. Yeah, ignoring the name, it's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. Extremely fine. Wonderful, in fact. Like, what's the worst that'll happen? Ha ha ha. Like, everything is great. Oh my goodness, yes. Truly wonderful. Best outcome. It just turns into a giant musical somehow. Are you awake, pup?
I don't know what's sadder for Umberto, to slowly waste away from age and illness, or to watch how his pups get dumber with each generation. How sad and pathetic, humans. You're...
The memory is blurry, but Lucino remembers the voice. The night that Umberto brought him back to Taylor de Montano. Sitting on a chair, Lucino looks blankly at the unfamiliar room before him, filled with various fabrics and tools. Umberto was outside talking to someone. Suddenly, he turns around, and through the window, Lucino thought Umberto was showing him to someone else, but does not see who it is. His grandfather, his only living relation. Lucino feels his stomach churn with nervousness. Then he hears a voice mixed with anger and resignation exclaim,
"Shameless human! Up to the same old tricks again!"
Are you Nono's
friend? Friend, teacher, master, employer, client. My relationship with Umberto was not so easily defined. I'm the master of all these wilds, pup, and your grandfather's my fang. A most incompetent one, I might add. Guess I'm really getting old. No matter how long I sat by the work table, the nights never felt this long. And I would have noticed you coming in. When?
10 minutes ago.
Do you mind if I kept working while we talked? I was delayed by an old friend's unexpected visit. I must hurry and finish the most important work on the suit. Lucino can take care of the final touch-ups himself.
Why? I smell no scent of wolf from you, even a little bit. Nor have you masked it any unusual way. I was watching, I can tell. Are you really the last true wolf?
True wolf? Ah, you mean the fangs. Yes, you've come to the right place, young one.
Umberto, he'll be fine, totally fine.
I observed Umberto for a long time. I watched him serve customers of every kind, casually putting his scissors through some of their throats while taking measurement, without getting a single drop of blood on himself.
Oh gosh. The switch to A? Oh man.
He was not a warrior like Ingrid, but he was smart and knew how to make the most of who he was. He was also good at disguising himself. He spent most of the time in Tailor de Montano, and he was equally in demand as a tailor as he was an assassin. That's why I chose him. I told him about the Signore de Lupi and the existence of the game. Nono's stories are true. You're the wolf from the stories. No wonder he wanted to lead the Familia. He was the Signore de Lupi's chosen, the most special tailor in Syracuse. He sure is very lucid.
I love how Lucino's just like, I want to be somebody. And then he's like, oh, wait a second. Grandpa was the main character all along. Gosh darn it, Grandpapa. A Fang. The ultimate tailor, and also the ultimate assassin.
Did Nono accept your deal?
Oh gosh. Oh, the price is gonna hurt.
No fan can reject the Signore de Lupi, but Umberto set a condition.
Condition?
He was not the first fan to try and bargain with the Signore de Lupi. Impertinent, fools. I know 100 ways to destroy them and find someone else to take your place. What did Nono want to do? Umberto wanted to raise his pup to an adulthood before delivering my victory. His wife had passed away, he said, and his young pup Luca was too young to survive without him. That was it. I agreed. The society of humans was no more dangerous than the wilderness. I did not imagine it would take up so much of his time and energy. I visited the tailor shop from time to time to make sure he was not deceiving me. That day, Umberto shut down his assassination business, devoting all his time to the sewing machine, fabric, and the young pup as it grew. But his hands were still steady and his eyes still sharp. Therefore, I kept my promise. I needed a fang that would not break, not easily distracted prey. I gave him time. I had plenty of it. But Papa died meaninglessly. I gave Umberto plenty of time to recover from the shock. It may not have been how Umberto planned it, but at least now he's no longer burdened. And so one night I visited him again and demanded that he hold up his end of the bargain. But my fang once again bargained with me.
The Signor de Lupi pauses and glares at the young tailor before him.
Do you mean he learned that his pup had a pup of his own? The last family he had, he wanted to raise you to adulthood too, before the hunt begins.
Shameless human, up to the same old tricks again.
That was you. This time, I did not assent, but he seems to have forgotten who he was, and who I was to him. Every time I pressed him, he babbled something like how life keeps repeating itself, while shamelessly promising that he will hold up his end of the bargain.
I know, right? Wasted opportunity, could have asked for amazing clothes. Or even an accessory, it doesn't have to be clothes itself, it could be something like, just like a tie, a scarf. Gotta show off, especially since Grandma Caesar has glasses, why not something else?
But Nono was never in good health, as long as I could remember. My fan could hardly defend himself now, much less deliver my victory. The only result of my patience was that he had grown old. Nono actually... I know he's only ever cared about his shop, the suits he made, and the people he loved. That's why he did those things, which he was never made for. Umberto was a fool. I was wrong about him. Why are you telling me all this, Signor de Lupi? All my effort and patience have only earned me an eternity of scorn from the pack over breaking the rules of the game. You're his pup. Now you must face punishment.
Punishment?
All your efforts tonight will be futile, whether you try to destroy the weapons or destroy the ship. Look down at your chest.
Lucino looks down and sees that the front of his jacket has flown open. He must have dropped his buttons in the chaos.
Whatever you want to become, pup, learn to sew your own buttons first. Now, get lost. Go back to Umberto.
He's a freaking kid. Vargo's actually a pretty good uncle, though. Vargo's just like, oh no! My little nephew's in trouble! Shoot! Okay, I gotta help him. But I can't let him know that I'm helping him because I kinda like him. I'm just gonna be tough with him.
You're a terrible actor, Vargo. The mock anger. Were you afraid we would harm that pup? He was not part of the game. Have you forgotten the decision of the pack, Vargo? The Signor de Lupi shall stay here until this round is decided and shall not intervene in any manner, or else. I've already lost Caesar.
The silvery Signor de Lupi suddenly looks up. He casts his gaze towards a corner of the city, a city engulfed in revelry. The night sky is bright as day. No one notices that a certain cloud is dispersed.
The wind brings a familiar scent. Red has done her work. I won't be shameless like Zorro, Caesar. I have gone against the decision of the pack, and I shall face my punishment. Are you mourning your fang? Just bitter about losing.
Vargo, don't gotta be tsundere about it. He loved Umberto. Not that he's bitter about losing. He's like, that man, I was rooting for him.
I wouldn't have found you without Grandma's help. Grandma? That's how you call your wolf? I've never thought of them as being particularly kindly. But then, Vargo must have figured out a long time ago that he was being deceived. There's a soft heart there underneath the surface. You won't resist either? Either? The last true wolf that I killed didn't resist. She just watched me pierce her chest as she cuddled her limp leg. She sighed and muttered, finally, no need to live in fear anymore. Sounds like death was a relief to her. Well, it's not as if I stood any chance if I tried to resist. Besides, I don't mind this chat going on for a while longer. It would ruin this new suit if we started fighting right now. Phew, almost done. Measure, cut, shape, trim. That's how plain cloth becomes stylish clothes. There are about 450 steps to a standard Syracuse suit, but it doesn't take much time as one might think, if you go about them step by step, calmly and patiently.
The sound of the sewing machine stops. The old tailor trims away the protruding threads, gets up from his chair, and walks by the huntress to hang the new suit on the wall. He sighs, rubs his swollen eyes, and lies down on the sofa in a corner.
Do you mind if I lie down? At this age, I get dizzy whenever I work for an extended period of time.
Grandma was right. True wolves are good at disguising themselves. I do not understand why you don't smell a wolf, but it doesn't change what you did to Grandma. You ate Grandma's eyes, arms, and heart. Answer me, true wolf. Why did you engage in such a cruel game?
I see. That's how you understand the game to be like. I take it you asked the last fang you killed the same question. I don't have an answer either, young one. We were all chosen by fate, by happenstance. Whether it is lies or the truth that accompanies us, however, all of it will converge upon a single end. What will you do when that time comes?
Find the other true wolf who escaped me. Her bow is weak. She's no match for me.
No, what I mean is, what happens when you're killed, when you've killed all the true wolves?
The game ends and Grandma's saved.
And what about you? Where will you go from there? What will you do? Have you been seeking out and killing true wolves all this time?
Waggles ears. No, I was helping Kelsey. There are many things at Rhodes Island that I need to do. The huntress bows her head. I've wasted too much time. The cold glint of a dagger shines out of Red's sleeves. She had been holding it all this time. You're not afraid, true wolf?
Of course I'm afraid. I always am, whether you're here or not. My health has been in steady decline for a long time. You can't help but be afraid when you know that you don't have much time left. But at least I was not like the one you spoke of, who spent a long time waiting for death's visit. That's much scarier than death. Come to think of it, I didn't really achieve anything in my life. A killer who racked up a mountain of blood depths, a father who watched his son die, a grandfather who doesn't know how to teach his grandson, a fang who never played the game. But I was a good tailor, a lucky old man. How many can say that they were doing the work they loved on their deathbed? I'll leave the finishing touch to you, Lucino.
Oof. Red does not raise her dagger. She does not need to. The old man on the sofa is no longer breathing. Oh, okay. So he literally just passes away from natural causes. Well? Welp? The old man on the sofa is no longer breathing, as though he had expended his last bit of strength to finish the suit. Red gazes unblinkingly at the old man's face. She had seen the deaths of many, all of whom had died with an expression like a mask on their faces. Even the limp true wolf that was waiting for death had terror on her face when Red came in, which only changed to relief in her final moments. As for the reunion members in the Lungmen ruins, and those who invaded Rhodes Island, their faces were twisted from rage or fear. But the expression on the face of the old man before her has never changed. From the moment she walked into the Taylor de Montano to this very instant, Red was finally certain that he was not disguising himself. Was the man really who Grandma said he was? Ooh, time to start questioning Grandmama. The true wolf died before the huntress, but not by the huntress's hand. Doubt fills Red's heart. Where will you go from here? From there? What will you do? I don't understand, Grandma. Well, 15 minutes of the parade arrives at Court Square. Oh my goodness, yay, 15 minutes. Seems like you hate Syracuse more than I do. Huh, you think I'm doing this for revenge? No. I've already said goodbye to my past Texas. Maybe there wasn't a formal ceremony, but it doesn't make it any less serious. I didn't tell you how I became a taxi driver, did I? I never asked. Zara and I came across this pile of scrap metal in the wilderness. The two of you got together? Not many people would interrupt me like this, you know. Yes, he's my lackey now. A few Syracusans came to Novovosini together, but started brawling out in the wilderness for no reason, and the car ended up in front of me. Syracuse invited, so I had to answer, just like you had to return to Vocini last year. Are you absolutely sure you're not just recalling the plot of a radio program? I wouldn't really consider it a hate for Syracuse, and more like she's just entertained by it. She doesn't love it or hate it. Hey, I'll be happy to sell the story to a radio station or filmmaker. I think it'll make a good road movie. 1 year ago, I was sitting at the table at the Great Hall with you when you won this new nomadic city from that Befana Sicilia. You could call me one of the startup investors in this youthful dream of a new Syracusa. Of course, I needed to be here at the 1 year anniversary of Nuovo Vocini to celebrate with my friends. You know, I think I deserve some gratitude for all the problems I dealt with behind the scenes to make sure the festival proceeds without a hitch. Like scattering weapons across the square. Much more than just that. Such as my dear father, who is quite, let's say, ambitious about his plans for the new city. I thought Alberto was in custody. Oh, come on, haven't you spent enough time in my family to know what a Stronzo and the Saluzzo Don is? He wouldn't tolerate the thought of anything being outside his control, despite his failure at Vocini, despite the vigilance of the Nuovo Vocini City Hall and courts against his interference. What did you do? Took a few things out of his control, that's all. You'll find out soon enough. Are you sure you're not doing this for revenge? Well, I guess it's a matter of interpretation. Oh, and these masked dudes in the square, you remember seeing their boss, that cheerful Pero, in court? Venetia Jr. It's often those who despise the game the most, who understand the rules most thoroughly. He and his Venetia trucking have never been in violation of the new Urban Management Act. As a matter of fact, he is a 2-time winner of the Outstanding Young Entrepreneur Award. He might hate Syracuse more than either of us, Texas, but he knows how to read the winds better than most wolves. But what? I love that typo though. But to what? I don't like his hairstyle. Too oily. I love that. It's like that guy. What do I hate about him? His hair. I prefer Vopals who aren't so much like wolves. A Vopal mother from a distant land who returned to Syracuse to seek justice for a Erypathy-afflicted daughter. Touching story, isn't it? I know, right? I want to know who the baby mama is. Who's Lappy's mama? Besides, I happen to know that mother. What did you do this time? How to find the culprit? Super easy, barely an inconvenience. I'm sure you would have done the same. Sounds like the city hall should give you a medal for outstanding citizenship. What better time to do that than tonight? You can do the honors. Nah, it wouldn't sit well with my conscience. After all, things have gotten to the point where they are. Even with all the business I threw a wrench into. Now let's get back to that wager. 2 packs of wolves, increasingly antsy. The end is approaching, Texas. "10 minutes until the parade arrives."
I'm glad you're here, Ingrid. The White Wolf of Saluso has disrupted our plans. I'm going to the port to deal with the matters, lest you ruin everything the Venetia has built in Nova Vulcini. I returned my emblem a long time ago. Whatever happens to Familia is none of my business. Drop the act, Antonio. You know I'm here. How did you know it was me? When you told me you knew the truth. But was your reaction just now that removed the last vestige of doubt?
Antonio, you freaking hater.
Why did you think the Sicilian betrayed you the moment you saw me? Ah, you tricked me. Did I? I had my suspicions, Antonio. If the Tancredis wanted to assassinate the Venetia Don, doing it through a child was a highly unreliable method, to say the least. No matter how intricate their plan was, they could not possibly have prepared a doll that Lisa had only fallen in love with half a month ago because of a movie. There never was an assassination attempt. You hurt Lisa to agitate me, in order to run me out of the Familia. If that was so... Oh, you spared no expense to make sure that Lisa wanted for nothing when I brought her back. She called you the really nice Peril uncle. And the way you besieged me to come home after I arrived in Nova Vulcini. You wore your mask perfectly, Antonio. You put on such a natural act that it would put a real thing to shame. No, it was all real. Lisa, lovely, clever child. I was happy from the bottom of my heart when she called me uncle.
Oh my goodness, this dude.
But you were in my way, Ingrid. I could never have risen the Familia with you around, much less rise to my present position. The struggle between Venetia and Tancredi had reached the point where nothing was off limits. It was a chance I could not afford to miss. Lisa was your only weakness. As to why I tried to bring you back after chasing you out from the Familia, that answer's even simpler. Times have changed, Ingrid. Be it within the Familia or Novo Vulcini, Venetia Jr. needs a strong right hand.
Bruh. Sure. Yeah, Antonio. Sure, she'd want to come back to the family for you to be your right-hand man, Antonio.
I even made preparations to sponsor Rhodes Island under the name of Venetia Trucking, in order to allow them to devote their full effort to Lisa's treatment.
Yeah, thanks, Antonio.
The Don took us in, and we lived together as Venetia for more than a decade. But somehow, you have it in you to hurt the people closest to you. Are you going to chastise me for lacking in decency, Ingrid? I'm curious, do you truly agree with what the old man says, or are you just playing dumb? We keep emphasizing decency, acting like we're principled, pretending that we're filled with love, and claiming we're so different from the other Familia. But we're no different, are we? Just a bunch of Stronza with blood all over our hands. The tailor, Umberto, he's done dirty work after dirty work for the old man just because he owned the old man one back in the day. If decency was really about the Familia, why did he leave the Familia to focus on his suits? The scar on your face, is it a mark of honor or shame? Behind the scar, how many lives are taken in the name of the Familia? Who's really decent in the swamp they call Syracuse? No one amongst us, at least. Good. This is the right distance for stabbing. You really are forthright, Antonio. I just believe we shouldn't be expecting something unrealistic from one another. What the Syracusans should do is be prepared to lose everything, including those they love the most. That's what I need That's what I used to admire you for.
A bright flash of light. The alley they are in is separated from the court square by a high wall. Only a few dim street lamps illuminate the dark street. The sudden flash of light dazzles Ingrid momentarily.
This is your arts. You hit it well.
Look at how beaten up he is even after that. Nothing happened to Ingrid. Just a little light in her eyes all.
Doesn't do much except cause a strong flash of light. It even looks a little silly, doesn't it?
I love how his art is literally that one TM in Pokemon, Flash.
This is the second time I ever used it. Without this light, I would not have dodged that bullet while kneeling in the mud of the jungle. I would not have been able to hold that drunken noble who circled our names away from the list if we're cutting his head off. Anger distracted me with the speech you just gave, then create an opening with the flash. You planned this the moment you saw me, didn't you? Ugh. But on my knife found was the Emoji you wore on your belt.
I love that. I love how he just tried to stab her, but nope. The lovely Omamori that matches her daughter and probably husband saved her. Look at you, sir. Antonio. Sucks to suck, Antonio. Imagine not having the power of love and friendship and family on your side.
You never had a chance, Antonio. The moment I found out what kind of person you are. You know, it's funny. I was actually trying to think of an excuse to spare your life on my way here. Lisa's condition can never be cured, but she has found friends at Rose Island and became an operator for them, working to help other orthopedic patients. I was worried about Lisa's education, but life has thrown her by a bone by the strange deliverance of fate. Sorella, Ingrid, Venetia, you insult me with this decency even now. You would never have missed my heart if you didn't mean to. I shouldn't be talking. You're mistaken. It's just plain Ingrid, a mother whom you've angered. If I was thinking about decency, it was only so that you wouldn't die with any. I left your life so that you could bleed to death. You deserve the pain, Antonio.
I like that. I like how Antonio's like, why didn't you finish the job? It hurts, you know? Oi! No? Okay. I guess I'm just gonna bleed to death here. Another firework explodes in the skies not far from here, casting its light on Ingrid's face. The parade is about to arrive at the square. Carnival comes to a climax. It'll be a long time before they find out about the peril lying on the other side of the wall. Ingrid snickers at the thought. She walks over the figure lying on the ground and leaves the alley. Four minutes until the parade arrives. Oh man, I wonder what Venetia Senior's gonna be like. He's gonna... like, well, I lost my daughter, I lost my basically adopted daughter, and I found out that my son-in-law was a piece of poo. Well, dang. I still can't get in touch with Antonio. What the hell's going on? And where's Capone at a time like this? I knew you couldn't trust a Sicilian.
What do we do now?
What do you think we do? This ain't a movie when you just call, cut, and go to lunch. Everything has been exposed. City Hall sees us for who we are now. Do you think we can go back to being honest citizens of Nuova Volsini after this? Complete Antonio's mission, capture the courthouse, and get in touch with the port. Do the reinforcements have their weapons?
Yeah.
Good. On my order. Maybe some of us haven't touched a weapon in a year, but we ain't any more out of practice in these cargo hauling scammo. Irene. You have the answer? It's not the one we want to hear, is it? Tell Irene that I'm very sorry about Summer. But I will not sign this verdict, and this decision is final. Hey, welcome. Thank you for the gacha luck. But I will not sign this verdict, and this decision is final. Nuovo will not tolerate the crimes of the Mafia, but that doesn't mean other people can use the opportunity to achieve their own goals. I've gotten letters from many friends over the past year. Some of them are judges or lawyers in other cities. Others have chosen to pursue a different career. They shared a lot of advice with me about the jurisprudential basis of the new Urban Management Act and specific room for improvement. I read many feelings between the lines. Concern, confusion, hope, even envy. The new Urban Management Act is a unique thing in Syracuse. It is the basis of the city's existence. Many have their eyes upon it, even more have sacrificed for it. It's true that I can be powerless at times, but especially in times like this, that I cannot allow to become empty words, much less a tool to be exploited. Still the same old Lavinia. Hey, Irene. What is it? Listen to me carefully. These people have gotten their hands on weapons. They've become true wolves. The situation is out of control. I saw what the mafiosi are capable of when I first came to Syracuse as a kid. They slaughtered my uncle's entire family in just half an hour. In a few moments, I'll release smoke to obstruct their view. Get the guys out of here when that happens. Hand signs, signals, whatever. I know you have a way. You need to be quick. I've never released a smoke in such a large area before, so I don't know how well it'll work, or how long I can keep it up. The trucks are right behind us. Get in, get away. I wasn't with Summer that night. It was partly my fault that he's dead. There's not much that luckless loner like me can do. But I can't let my brothers and sisters die here. That's a gun, not a spanner. Stop pointing at me! No, I don't mean to point it. I don't mean to point at yourself. But I don't know how to use it. Then point it in front of you, Pedro. But that's... Don't worry about it going off, or accidentally touching the switch on some arts unit. I've talked to Judge Lavinia. These mafiosi have been declared outlaws under the new Urban Management Act. No one is going to hold you responsible if you accidentally shoot them. So take a deep breath and hold your weapon firm. We're protecting Justice Lavinia, protecting the courthouse, and protecting ourselves. But Irene... Listen. What? The cheering. It's getting nearer and nearer. The parade will reach Court Square in just a few more minutes. How will the people interpret what they see? They're the ones who will pass judgment. The law needs only facts, doesn't it? Irene's voice is trembling, but the crossbow in her hand is firm. Suddenly, Ludmilla feels like she's looking at a stranger. I hope the truckers' union ends up alright. The beast masked figures on one side and the truck drivers on the other. Like they are standing on two sides of a river. There's no weapon on the ground, only shattered boxes. The weapons are in their hands. Everyone hears the sounds filling the air. The rumbling of floats, impromptu band performance, the spirited yelling of acrobats. The parade draws ever closer. Then sounds that are fainter, but even more audible. The sounds of guns being loaded and locked, arts units being activated, crossbow safeties being... pins being unlocked. There's nowhere to hide, there's nowhere to run. No one has moved yet. At the first shot, the Dan River will burst, and the tide of madness will wash over everything. No one speaks, nerves are wound to the very tightest. Everyone is listening to the sounds, and their own racing heartbeats. A new day will dawn upon Nuovo Vocini soon, but the night is long. Oh. Well, who shot first? Or surprise! These are guns filled with like... These are not real guns. They're just, you know, what are those? Confetti guns. Oh my goodness, yes. Or t-shirt guns. Even better. Now wouldn't that be fun? So incredibly fun. Look at Lappy, what? Lappy, can you just like not? Oi. Lappy, please. Well, 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 this is gonna be interesting. Oh man. Okay, this is fine enough for now. This boy. Finally, things are starting to heat up. Let's join in and make Carnival even more fun. Let's see who can take out the most bad guys during Carnival. If you win, I'll take down my damage reduction shield, and your next fireworks will have even stronger special effects. If you lose, it will prove how pathetic you really are, and your next fireworks will have no special effects. Does it sound good? Then I'll start the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, that sounds good, I think. Maybe. Honestly, I can't tell. At this point, what is even good? Is anything good? This is all just pain and suffering for me. Oh gosh, I need the power of healing. Actually, no. Sorry, Chen. Oh gosh, that was powerful. Ooh, that stung. Well, at least I took out most of the enemies. In comparison. Yeah. Good job. Now take down the shield, but just for a short while. Don't miss your chance to attack. Well, she's happy. She's proud of me. Yep, I'm not missing my chance. Alrighty. Oh. Oh, there she is. Hey girl, hi, how you doing? Oh my goodness. Wow, so up close and personal. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. It's okay though. Still doing good. All things considered. Look at this chaos. And yeah, she's the ultimate neutral, right? Well, well, well. Luckily, this is fine. Like, oh, thank goodness. This hurt less than the trucks. I gotta admit that, the trucks hurt more. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Now I'm suffering. I just ended up jinxing it. Like, oh, my bad. I didn't mean to jinx things that way. Oops. Oh, did not mean to place her there. Oh, that was an accident on my part, but you know, it's okay. That's just how it'd be at times, you know? Texas, save me! This is just chaos now. Or not, everything's fine. All is well. What am I talking about? See, look. Done. Okay. Woohoo! She's a fun boss. I think it's hilarious. We're just having a competition with her.
Kazo, I said I might order, you idiot! It wasn't me. I only just pulled the safety on my gun. And it's not at them either. See that shocked look in their faces? They're checking themselves for holes. Did someone's weapon go off? No, nobody's hurt. Where'd that gunshot come from? Yeah, where'd that gunshot come from? I thought I knew what to do just now, but what do we do now? I can see the head of the first float already. Hey, you were there.
I like how confused they all are. 3 minutes ago.
Guff. Gah. 200 meters, just 200. Haven't lost your touch, Ingrid, not one bit. Murda, it hurts. I can feel my blood flow out of me, but that means I still have time. Get out of this alley, get back to the square, and I can still bring things under control. We have the courthouse and the port. Maybe I'll die, but before I die, I'll sit in the judge's chair and deliver the final judgment of this ridiculous testing ground.
Antonio leans against the wall and does his best to stay upright, wobbling towards the exit. The alley is dark and every step takes massive effort. For some reason, he thinks back to how the guerrillas crept through the jungle of Bolivar by night, escaping from the Singa's government. Antonio thinks back to the circles that the noble drunkenly drew on the list, and his severed head when the guerrillas cut it off. He thinks back to Ingrid, Venetia Sr., Leontuzo, Alberto, Senor Cecilia, all the people he hates. He would take everything from them. He would draw a big bloody cross on their names.
It's not over yet.
He stops. Okay, Venetia Sr.'s on the list of people he hates. Bruh. Since Antonio's such a big hater, at the very, very, very least, do you think he, at the very least, liked his wife? Or do you think he was using her too? I'm hoping at the very least he liked her. Or else, oh. Ouch. He stops. He feels the cold metal of gun muzzle pressed to his forehead.
Antonio. Carl? I ordered you to get out of... Who do you think are to kick me out? You're just the Dawn's Guard, tusk beast, Antonio. No matter how hard you try to disguise your ears and tail, you want to kill me? You? Your hands are shaking. You don't know how my enemies are. You don't know what I'm building. You stupid, worthless Coglione.
Carl stares blankly at the lifeless body on the ground. He has never seen such fury as that which is on Antonio's face, even unto death. It almost seems like it was not the bullet that took Antonio's life, but the fact that it was he, Carl, who fired the bullet. Antonio's blood seeps through the cracks in the ground, in the shape of a massive, bloody cross. Oh, so it was Carl. Hey, you were there. Irene? It's okay. Before everybody's eyes, Irene leaves the driver's line and takes 2 steps forward, standing in the middle of the road. Facing off at the tense crowd of mafiosi, she takes a deep breath and lowers her crossbow.
What is the meaning of this?
Look, the first float is rounded the corner. The parade is here. Are we really going to fight to the death in front of hundreds of thousands of Nuovo Volsini citizens? Whatever your plan was, it's too late, isn't it?
You want us to lower the weapons? You think we're stupid?
We're doing the same thing. The White Wolf scattered the stuff on the plaza. We, as conscientious citizens of Nuovo Volsini, volunteered to clean up the square so that the parade can pass through. That's what happened, no more, no less. All of you, Signori and Signor, are witnesses for me and all the drivers behind me. They in turn are your witnesses. It's Carnival after all. Let's give the parade a warm, proper welcome. I like that. We're just cleaning up. We're just doing community service. Look at us being awesome citizens.
Get in, Carl. The parade is almost here. We can't park here for long. There's a carnival mask on the driver's seat. Put it on and hide that blood on your face. Don Venetia, move.
The car starts moving, and the parade crowd passes through behind. Music and cheering mingle under the bright lights. It has been a good 4 or 5 hours since the revelry started, but Nuovo Volsini's excitement shows no sign of abating. From the expansion plate, through all of Nuovo Volsini's major districts, the procession is about to arrive at its destination. Nobody notices a lone car driving in the opposite direction.
I'm sorry, Don Venetia, I didn't get the job done. You gave me a chance after Antonio ran me out, ordered me to take him out quietly, but I... If Ingrid didn't already mortally wound him before I got there... No, Antonio died by your hand. The Don's permission is required for the execution of a formal associate of the Familia. At minimum, a proper explanation should be given to important members of the Familia. Ingrid's methods were not decent. Understood, sir. But now Antonio's dead. He was your son-in-law. The Familia's... Nuovo Volsini has its rules, so does Venetia. What Anton did was wrong. This is an act of kindness. He's with Bella now.
Ah, yes, an act of kindness. He's with his wife now. Yes.
Besides, his death will not be meaningless. What's next, sir? We go home and clean the house. The first thing the city hall and the courts will see when they get up in the morning tomorrow is Venetia's good faith. We will sit down together and we will talk like decent people. It'll be a busy night. Keep up, keep up. Court Square is just ahead. We gotta get ahead of the flow to get a good place.
Well, don't squeeze.
You're not joining them, Signorina. Your plain outfit stands out in the crowd of colorful costumes and masks. What an idea to turn things on its head. May I take a few photos? I can mail them to you if you give me an address. Hey, are you listening?
Agnes? Why'd you say anything, Agnes? You've never left me before. Where are you? The Lupo girl's eyes harden. The photographer gazes across the street. The Red Hood stands out in the crowd, even in this revelry. A trap? How did you... You got distracted. Is Agnes your grandma? You can't find your grandma too? You're the last one. The last true wolf. Kill you and I'll know the answer. Grandma? Grandma? I'm here, child. I won, Grandma. I saw it. I saw how the entire battle played out. How you zeroed in onto the fang of Agnes, lured her into a trap, and struck her down with a single blow. You can see? Have your eyes healed, Grandma? Have your arms grown back? Is your heart whole again? Why? Why can't I see you? Why can't I get close to you? My sweet child. Would you have hunted with such fervor if I didn't say that? Red killed the true wolf and earned an insipid victory for Grandma, finally. Now I go out to find another sweet child. You lied to me? Why? I don't understand. Oh, bother. Alright, let me put it another way. Maybe then you'll know what to do. You're like the ones who killed my child. You're both huntress and true wolf. Not all the true wolves have been slain. Grandma hasn't been saved yet. Wow, Grandma. Ooh, the mask. Collapse. Look at the coordination of the two groups. Truly impressive, isn't it? In the space of a few minutes, they've hidden all the weapons in the trucks and stand side by side to welcome the parade procession. It's almost like they rehearsed it. Who would have believed me if they said they were pointing weapons at each other just a few minutes ago? You win again, Texas. Once again, just as unconscious of taking your side. Texas does not answer. The white wolf claps even harder, an ink black mask on her face. Actually, I'm more curious as to why you suddenly put on that mask. Why you suddenly put that mask on. It's Carnival after all. Why the long face, Texas? You won. You should be more cheerful than that. Look, the parade enters the court square. The little intermezzo just now never turns into a full-scale riot. Peace and love for all. Or is it because you just can't help thinking that the only reason it turned out this way was because of a single gunshot out of nowhere, which gave one of the wolves a chance to cool his head? And Carnival is nothing but a red carpet laid out on a swamp? What are you trying to say, Lapland? What happened tonight is not the same as the civil disorder that happened in the other cities of Syracuse. The only difference being the involvement of a bunch of ordinary people who were pushed to desperation by the Mafia's turf wars. Well, you're not wrong. But they really did put on a remarkable show. Especially that driver lady that we saw in court, who seemed to have understood a lot of things without having to be taught. New Volcini is not a vineyard where you can sow the seeds and wait for the fruits to grow. Don't forget that it sits right in the middle of the swamp by the name of Syracuse. The Familia have never been the only ones who had to crawl through the mud and water. Don't underestimate the power of this bog, Texas. It turns everyone into hungry, ravenous wolves. It has ingrained in the genes of the Syracusans the instinct to turn any new turf into the same swamp. The endless cycle of what Syracuse is. Don't try to escape it or change it. The easiest thing to do is to learn to enjoy the swim. This is what the old man, Signor Cecilia, and you, what all of you have taught me. Leontus and Lavinia have taken radical measures in order to validate an order that exists outside the Familia. There's a long way to go. But this is why Nuovo Volcini exists. It offers a new possibility. But really, did you do all this in order to give this speech? I didn't know you were so concerned about the future of Syracuse. Took the words right out of my mouth, didn't you? I was gonna ask you that. Otherwise, why would you have come here all this way from Lungman the moment you got my invitation? I know you're gonna say. The white wolf pauses, clears her throat, and imitates Texas's way of speaking. Calm and even, yet emotion-filled. Ahem. All those lofty ideals are none of my business. I just work for a logistics company. I'm just here because I care about my friend, and because my conscience wouldn't let me turn a blind eye to certain things. Just like in Volcini. No, Texas. I haven't forgotten that time we first met. You just came to Syracuse. You were standing at the edge of the mobile platform, holding your Nono Salvatore's hand, watching my family workers trim the grapevines. Your Nono and my father were talking about how Columbia was turning into a dump, about Syracuse's good weather, and the new year's harvest, and how you'll be staying a while at our place. Your eyes were bright back then, and your expressions were much more interesting than they are now. That's because the grapes you picked were so sour they almost burned a hole in my tongue. Everyone in the square was wearing a mask tonight, but none could compare to the one you wear. Nobody sees things clearer than you. You're the first to realize that this is a swamp that you need to get out of. But it was your disappointment that made you see Texas. Once you once had such high hopes for the swamp. Forget about my speech. You, Texas, are a true blue idealist. I don't deny it. Or rather, whether I am or not makes no difference. It doesn't change what I have to do at the end of the day. A very Texas answers, almost boringly so. Is that a landship? Wow, City Hall brought a landship over to the show and turned it into a stage? Wait, look at who's on deck. Is that the last Texas? I'm sure. I've seen her in the courts of Volcini. And the one opposite her. Lapland? The white wolf who was disowned by the Donna Saluzzo 8 years ago? like it's part of the show for real. It's like, oh my goodness, it's them! Look at them! Oh, this is great. True chaotic neutral. Why are they here at the Carnival? Must be City Hall's special guests. Think about it. Representatives of two major familia here at the climax of Carnival. It sends an even more powerful message than Senor Ballone's promotional video. Damn right. Lapland takes off her mask and gives it to Texas. What? You won the bet, didn't you? In the old days, the familia murdered each other on Carnival, the last surviving wolf taking the masks of the vanquished. I suppose we need to give the old customs new meaning to this in this new city. A new life, that kind of stuff, I guess. As for the question just now, it doesn't matter what your answer is. Syracuse makes all of us wear masks after all. We're part of Carnival's main event, Texas. Regardless of why you're here and now, you represent part of Syracuse, whether it's the part that's new or the part that's broken and needs to be thrown out. Mafiosi and truck drivers, city officials and judges, and all the Syracusans on the square will see us the meaning that they want to see. You may of course choose to turn around and leave. Come on, Texas, don't just stand there. All of Nobunaga is watching. Silence. Texas gazes at her old friend, an old enemy, for a long time, and finally extends her hand. Ah, yes, for the show. I like that. A dozen beast floats drive into Court Square, as though it had been previously rehearsed, and the reveling crowd continues to gush in like the tide. The sound of music and the cheers of the crowd keeps growing louder. The bright lights and fireworks in the sky provide the perfect backdrop for the duel on stage. Do you hear that? They would not let the good night go gently. They're cheering for you and me, for this new city, for the new life. You're still really good at making me feel sick. I'll take that as a compliment. But I don't mind being part of the event. I don't mind these people seeing some sort of meaning in me. Without hope, there would never be disappointment, whether in Columbia or Syracuse. I do in fact hope to see a truly vibrant city emerge from the swamp. If the challenge and complexity of building it are beyond what I can imagine, then I will face the challenge with my friends, not run away from it. Oh gosh. Nyan's movie, with Lapland as the main character, would be intense. Alright, I made up my mind. I'll take care of one more trouble for you and Syracuse. I'm bringing those stupid wolves back to the wilderness so that Syracuse won't be affected by their dumb game. No need to thank me, but when the obstacles have all been pushed out of the way, how would you, change a swamp? There's something I suddenly wanted to ask you, Texas. What? Are you disappointed that I didn't come to Nobunaga for you? No. Another very Texas answer. Break a leg, Texas. Texas takes a mask. The white wolf lets go without warning, without hesitation. She turns around and walks into the landship's hold. Oh, and Texas? You were fun while it lasted. November 9th, 11:57 p.m.
Well, Landship, the White Wolf of Saluzo and Texas, and the Truckers Union. What else did we miss?
Oh, Leon! You guys literally missed everything. Leon Dimitri.
Senor Ballone. Hello, Irene. Haven't seen you in a while. Perhaps we should have a little chat once the festivities are over. Go on. Merely Antuso. The duel's performance has come to an end. time to deliver the closing speech for Carnival. Thanks for bringing me here, Dimitri, and sorry I couldn't give you a satisfactory answer even at the very end. Since when have you been the type to say useless crap like that? I suppose you're right.
Hey, good night to you, sweet dreams. Have a nice rest.
Good evening, folks. I'm Leon Tuzo. As you can see, I was a little dinged up, but I'm out of the woods for now. I was actually there in the middle of the parade on the way to Court Square, experience a city that we live in together. I'm sure little needs to be said about the impressive performance of Signorine Lapland and Texas. But I wanted to see your faces, say a few things, and spend the night together with you guys. Many things have changed in Nuovo Volsini over the past year, not least the competition of the Nuovo Volsini port, the biggest cargo port in Syracuse. Every connection it makes is like a pulse of the city, demonstrating healthy, robust vitality, supporting thousands of enterprises and hundreds of thousands of livelihoods. We found the country's first police academy, a new code of laws, and people are increasingly identifying with Nuovo Volsini. This makes me glad and anxious in equal measure. The city continues to face many problems that cannot be ignored. For example, the citizen credit system remains inconvenient, and there are many cases where it doesn't achieve its intentions. We also understand that the uniqueness of new Urban Management Act makes it difficult for our citizens to receive the support they need for cases that span jurisdictions. A year is a very short period of time. City Hall and the courts still have much to do. What I want to ask is this: what is Nuovo Volsini to you? That's also the question that I want to ask other Syracusans in Volsini, Sicilia, Montelupe. What is Nuovo Volsini to them? And what is this young city to neighboring Lithuanian, distant Ursus, and all the other countries of Terra, for which change is constant? Are we a new possibility to them, not just a different kind of violence, but something stronger, firmer, more close-knit, something worth talking to?
I wonder what's gonna happen to the other wolves. Since Lappy said that she's gonna take them out of the city. Oh man, I hope the others are having fun though, as in... Emperor guys.
Will they understand that our strength comes from our most earnest desires, that we and all the others gathered here today can safeguard our hard-earned new lives? That's what we have been trying to achieve over the past year. There's no familia Nuovo Volsini. The reforms associated with this saying doesn't rely on Syracusan methods, as Syracusans know it. A secret negotiation, an assassination in the dark, a purge of the city, a deadly struggle between familiae. All that has happened here, and all that will happen, will be viewed through the lens of the law. We're giving a new order to our new life. The swamp that Syracusans used to take for granted will no longer faze us. A friend once said to me that I'm walking down a thorny path. He's right, but all the challenges that we faced is exactly why Nuovo Volsini must continue to move forward. For everyone who has been hurt on this path, for everyone who may be hurt in the future, I'm sorry. But at the same time, I continue to extend an invitation to all the friends who have something to ask Nuovo Volsini. We shall trample the thorns together and make this brand new era, and this brand new, one-of-a-kind city better, little by little, until it's ready to usher in a new era.
I like that. Like glow sticks, pinatas, and spines, made to be broken and eaten.
As a matter of fact, a new era for Syracuse has already begun, a future filled with infinite possibilities.
Dimitri gazes forward silently at the silhouette of Leon Tuzo outlined by the countless lights.
What can I say, Leon? Saluzzo's wine isn't bad, but I prefer my own. Belone will find a way into the city, in my way, by your rules. I promise that to you.
Aww. Dimitri turns around. The mayor's speech continues, but he has received the answer he was looking for. Dimitri has accepted the invitation, or perhaps the declaration of a very long war. That's cute.
Enjoy the rest of the night, and the dawn of a new day.
Yay. And now Management Act Amendment will take place of the blood and mud we wiped away. Also, just based on this event so far, that means Leon Tuzo's record has a typo right for Irene versus Irene. Since I don't see our, Irene with the I.
Grandma, I don't understand. You're not getting away this time, bloody pup.
As the carnival drew to a close and the dust settled in the square that last night, Ludmilla spotted a familiar red silhouette. She followed the figure through the winding alleys, sometimes hitting dead ends, other times standing still. It clearly had no direction. Ludmilla readied for an ambush, biding her time. Her strike landed true. She pinned the figure down, pressing her blade against its heart. Just a little more, and she would avenge her mentor and end this haunting ghost. But the red Lupo offered no resistance. She simply knelt, muttering as she stared into space. Ludmilla looked into her eyes and saw nothing but emptiness. The silence was brief, and the red Lupo spoke.
True wolf.
What?
Grandma was a true wolf. I was like them, chosen by the true wolf. We hunt for the true wolf, die for the true wolf, deliver the true wolf's victory. The story was a lie. Grandma was a lie. It's all a lie. You're talking about your game? So teach her how to live in fear all her life with a limp leg just because she's part of this stupid game? You killed her for this victory? I don't understand.
Ludmilla suddenly feels a force from her counterpart and hears the sound of blade ripping through fabric. She takes a step back.
Is this what your Kelsey taught you? Violence, hatred, ideals, fate. Your Kelsey always has an explanation, doesn't she? Kelsey.
The kneeling red-garbed Lupo searches through her clothes in the rain, eventually pulling out a tooth from where Ludmilla's knife had struck. It's a small, sharp tooth. The knife has left a clear mark on it.
A baby tooth? Grandma told me that this kind of tooth falls out because it can't tear the prey's flesh. But I've always kept it, not sure why. Kelsey said I should keep it safe until I know the answer. I didn't listen to Kelsey. I found the girl with the bow. She's alive. You missed her vital organs. Did you doubt yourself in the final moments, scum? Do you want to see this Kelsey of yours?
Waggles ear silently.
Well, I'm going to find her and ask her what all this is about. Don't you dare die before then. And don't you dare get my knife dirty.
I guess that's how she ends up in Rose Island.
Is this how Nova Volsini's law enforcement does things? As we already explained to you multiple times, Signor Saluzzo, your request for legal counsel is perfectly lawful and reasonable. We duly notified Saluzzo Vino, but nobody's come. It's not because of any interference on our part. I want to see your supervisor. No, I want Justice Lavinia or merely Intuzzo.
I think that's funny. Alberto being like, I demand to speak to your manager. You can't treat me like this. Where is your manager?
Buongiorno, signor. Had a bad night? Lapland? You've been banished from Saluzzo's forever traitor. You do not have the right to rescue me. Oh, please, old thing. Still so full of yourself. Do I look like I'm here to rescue you? Catch.
Lapland throws an elaborate gift box through the cell door window. Alberto does not catch it. The gift box falls to the ground, its lid coming off and revealing a new suit, briskly cut, elaborately embellished, even more so than Lapland's outfit. How do you like it? Meant it to be a gift for the Carnival. The work of a master Syracusan tailor. We already said goodbye last year, dear father, so I wasn't planning to see you again. I prefer to spend my time on more meaningful things. But then, it would be ungrateful of me not to present a parting gift after all the lessons you taught me. But the little tailor who was supposed to run errands got into a little problem, so I had to make this trip myself. Unfortunately, the Carnival has already come to a close. But from the looks of things, you need something to wear for prison, don't you?
Are you trying to provoke me? It won't work, Lapland. How can you be so clever yet so childish? Every Saluzzo knows that Alberto Saluzzo's never wrong.
Tisk tisk. Well, since I'm here, let me tell you one other thing. Let's just say, your stay here will be much longer than you think.
What? The vote has been taken, Signorina Lapland. Despite your mistakes, you are the Don's only daughter, and the heir to Familia Saluzzo. We need you to take charge of the Familia's affairs for now. The most urgent tasks are responding to City Hall's investigation of Saluzzo Vino, after the Carnival and getting the Don out.
What? I was just here for a drink. I thought there was no Familia in Nova Volsini. Are you sure you want to play this inheritance game? Besides, didn't the old man pick this guy before he went in?
Do you mean?
If you're looking for help, you should look for from Saluzzo Vino's primary partner. I like this. Look at you, Dimitri. Oh my goodness. What a promotion.
I'm honored to take on this responsibility, Signorina Lapland, and my friends of Saluzzo.
So, what's the plan?
We will immediately audit all our businesses in the city in accordance with the new Urban Management Act. In addition to illegal registration, if Signor Saluzzo has indeed been manipulating Saluzzo Vino to engage in prohibited activities, it is our duty to gather materials and self-report to City Hall. If necessary, I will restructure the leadership of Saluzzo Vino. A necessary sacrifice to protect Saluzzo Vino.
Oh my, that sounds like so much hard work. Here's a toast to you.
You. How dare Ballone? Did you plan this in the beginning? You would allow the Ballone to take the Saluzzo's business in Nova Volsini.
Remember what you said? Banished from the Saluzzos forever, right? Or did you think I was going to come home to roost like a migratory foul beast? There was always a question on my mind, Papa. Why were you so angry when I tried to kill the Boche al Lupo at Brunella? Or when I let Texas go in Colombia? Were you angry that I acted against the Familia's interests, violated the rules of Syracusa? Or are you just angry that I was telling everyone that there are certain things which are outside Alberto Saluzzo's control? You should probably save your strength for the trial. I doubt the new management of Saluzzo Vino would make his legal counsel available for you. My dear father, you're not just a fool, you're a boring fool. It's really audio this time, but cheer up. He'll be better dressed than all your fellow inmates after all. Oh my goodness, he gets to be a fancy boy in prison.
Hey, ain't you done yet? I don't know what the paper pushers at the City Hall are thinking. Same points, same social service, but why I gotta sweep 2 more streets in you, Capone? That's Signor Capone to you, Gambino. Don't forget who saved you when you passed down the alley that night. Vaffanculo. Did you hear? Half of Venetia's Trucking's management are in police custody right now. It wasn't just cigar and vinyl sent to Venetia Senior's room that night. There were also detailed business and personnel records of Venetia Trucking for the past year. Anyone who was closely associated with Venetia Jr. got rooted out. And the City Hall Kazi came here to work the next day to a thick pile of self-reports lying on their table. Venetia Senior cut ties so swiftly and decisively that City Hall couldn't find fault. Venetia Trucking will get a full makeover. But won't be shut down. Venetia Jr.'s impact was reduced to a minimum. The Familia sure are finding some new and clever ways of dealing with traitors in Nuova Volsini. The Don really struck like thunder, didn't he? I thought he came for the festival. We'd have been rotting outside bars by now if we if we listened to you and stayed there. What's the difference? We lost all of our citizen points, and we gotta start again from scratch. Once again, we got nothing left. Well, not exactly nothing.
Capone casts his gaze at the intersection where a familiar yellow cab is parked.
Lapin said we can have the cab. Our reward, basically.
I like that. What a nice parting gift she gave them.
How long do you think it'll take before we get a taxi company started in the city? I know what we'll call it. Taxi Siciliano. What do you think? I think we should get out of here, because that judge is coming. Well, I don't think she's coming for us.
You're just going to leave without saying anything? Lavinia, I won't stay any longer. Don't want to keep you up at night. Where will you go? Rose Island, maybe? Haven't seen Lisa in a while. Now that this old score has been settled, I have the time and the mood. I'm not here for small talk, Signora Venetia. We're not that close to begin with. Early in the morning, Venetia Sr. came to see me and Liantuzo. Whatever is going on with Venetia is none of my business. He would pay any price for Venetia Trucking's survival, even if it's just one factory, but he also has another request, to grant you safe passage out of Nuovo Volsini. Given the actions of Venetia Jr. on the night of the Carnival, your efforts helped City Hall contain the violence to some extent. Therefore, leniency should be considered. However, the charges of assault and battery still stand, not to mention that your actions were acts of revenge within a familia. We will issue an arrest warrant for you, Signora Venetia. Arrest warrant? I have multiple mafioso bounties on me, and even Signora Cecilia's prohibition. The arrest warrant will be a nice souvenir, I guess. Do not dismiss it so casually, Signora Venetia. This arrest warrant is empowered by the new Urban Management Act, unlike Signora Cecilia's prohibition. There's no room for mediation just because some familia comes into power or loses it. The law is the law, Signora Venetia. We've talked about this before. Your every move will be watched by Nuovo Volsini, and perhaps all of Syracuse in the future. The arrest warrant will remain valid until you are brought to custody. I appreciate the reminder, Lavinia. I'm not dismissing your declaration. I could tell that you're a firm person when I saw you in the winery. In the Syracuse I knew, you didn't need a reason to kill, but that's not how things should be. Every action needs a reason, a proper reason. It's true for judges, for mothers, even for killers. I approve of your reason, which is why I approve of your action. Besides, as I've told you, I don't have anything against your profession. I'm just thinking, if you issued a warrant for me, should I look forward to when we meet again? Well, I should go. Yeah, they'll see each other in Rose Island.
Hello, Irene.
Are you feeling better, Signor Bellone?
Yes, thanks for asking.
There's something I need to give you.
A resignation letter?
I would like to resign as president of the Truckers' Union. 1 year ago, I promised you and Judge Lavinia that no mafioso would infiltrate the Truckers' Union, but I failed to keep the promise. I stopped them from putting their people in the union, but didn't prevent them from achieving their goal at all. Summer and all the others whom they used. It's my fault. I tried to caress Judge Lavinia when things were exposed.
It's not your fault. Not all of it, at least. No one can stay calm when they see their best friend die and their family, along with themselves, backed into a corner. In the end, little harm was done.
But I just can't forgive myself.
I received a joint letter just before you arrived. It was signed by 200 full-time drivers of the Truckers' Union, plus several hundred more temporary and contract staff, asking for amnesty towards your actions during the Carnival.
They shouldn't have.
Rethink your resignation, Irene. City Hall will hold an internal hearing the next week to discuss integrating the Truckers' Union as a government department, alongside the city development and the police. Together, we will build Nuovo Volsini's logistics and the city itself, Irene. I look forward to a long and productive partnership with you. I still trust the decision that Lavinia and I made that day. You may or may not be the best person to lead the Truckers' Union, but you're a decent person.
Aww. the truckers' union. I think it's sweet how close-knit they are.
In the 2 days since I woken up, I learned about what I missed and thought about many things. Finding the direction is easy. It's a journey that's hard. A long, long journey. How did it go? The association will need to cooperate with the investigation and face penalties. However, City Hall won't pursue what happened during the Carnival or those who helped with the smuggling. Good. I thought I asked you to wait for me at the camp. I came to say goodbye. Didn't want to deal with the commotion if I said it at the camp. You're leaving? I found the red one. She's not in great shape. I thought she was your sworn enemy. Yes, she needs to go back to somebody, and that somebody is my other sworn enemy, whom I'll have to visit sooner or later. It's a long story. Anyway, if nothing much is going on with the Union, for the time being, I want to visit this place called Rhodes Island. There's something I want to ask before I leave. That night, when you ordered us to point our weapons at the Venetian mafiosi, what were you thinking? That all the Union's problems will go away if we kill those bastards? And who smuggled what will remain secret forever? Were you confident that it could be done with so many people behind you and so many weapons in our hands? Were you confident that you wouldn't be held responsible? Were you thinking about protecting the people behind you, or how, like the bastards on the other side, you held the fates of so many in your hands? Was it the gunshot that made you stop, or was it your judgment from deeper down? No need to tell me, Irene. You know the answer. I told you the story of Tallulah, a respected leader who became an evil dragon. I failed to see it happen, and I didn't kill her. I won't make the same mistake again. I'm watching you, Irene. I'm the sword that hangs above your head. If that's what you become, I will come for you, no matter where I am, and I will kill you. I hope the day never comes. I hope you can truly, sincerely give each other our blessings, friend.
Well, she is a crown slayer after all. And you know Ludmilla likes the trucker union guys. She's like, wait. We're supposed to run away. I do not want to see them getting hurt. Not like Summer. Oi, we're family now. Irene, don't you dare. Irene is alone. The reprover with his furrowed brows has vanished without a trace. The night wind of late autumn is chilly, but Irene just stands there, lost in thought. It's me, Sandro. About the joint letter, thank you. Hey.
I thought you promised Texas to take us away from Syracuse.
I lied. Besides, did you really win the bet? Is the carnival over, Zaro, or has it just begun?
The old wolf of Venetia has hidden his fangs and claws, blending back into the pack. The pup named Irene has learned the tricks of hunting her own.
That's why I said you guys are stupid. You set all sorts of dumb rules, but you can't resist breaking them. The game becomes increasingly boring with each cycle. The all-powerful Signori de Lupi are reduced to petty worries, like humans. From one wolf to another, tell me, Zaro, what set the rivalry between us into motion?
Power, obviously.
Yes, a port, a community, a city. Wherever there are people, there is power. Whether one pursues it, detests it, or seeks to control it, or grasps it like a drowning man clutching at straws, they all end up holding power tight and wielding it with fervor. Power is a true wolf pack. It's a game all Syracusans, no, all humanity was born playing. There's no judge, no rules. Its variety is infinite, and it does not end except by death.
Like the wind in the wilderness, there is no direction and no one knows where it comes from, but it never stops. Interesting.
Very interesting indeed.
I'll concede that you have discovered this pleasure earlier than us. Do you intend to put an end to the fangs and have Lapland lead us into this new game?
Oh my goodness, Granny Caesar actually approves.
That depends on what Vargo, Agnes, and the ones over there who haven't spoken think. No human has ever been the alpha of the pack in the memory of the Signor de Lupi, nay, of the beast aristocrats. Do you have a hierarchy? Over here? That's a human concept to shackle their own brethren. You call yourselves the Signor de Lupi. Act like one. If she truly does bring us pleasure. There's one more thing you forgot. Look at this crystals on her leg. She's pretty far gone. And neuropathy is an incurable disease for humans. Will we, death of Signor de Lupi, recognize a dying human as alpha? True. I probably don't have much time left. Doesn't that add to the thrill of the game?
I like that. They're like, oh, you're right. That's kind of fun.
I have a feeling that this is going to be the best time of my life.
Wow. They're like, Lapland, she crazy. I like her. Oh, man. All the others are just gonna be like, where's Grandma? Where's Agnes? And then they'll see them just all following Lappy.
Oh, an emperor came to talk to me. It's not just the pack that has sensed this unease. It's a crisis that has put all the aristocrats of beasts on guard. Emperor and our cousins and other races wish to talk to us. If Lapland is our alpha, then... There is no rest for the wicked, is there? Tell them. The wilderness keeps its promises. Wait for me.
Well, what's gonna happen? And oh my goodness, Lapland's showing up to the meeting. Yay, finished.
Please take a look, Senorita Texas. I'll submit if there's no issue. There's so much paperwork to become an independent consultant for you guys. Miss Scusi. The Carnival drew in a large number of tourists and delivered on the promotional expectations. Nuovo Cini Port has received a large number of orders in recent days. Moving forward, our logistics systems will reach beyond Nuovo Bolsini, connecting with other cities in Syracuse, and even abroad. There's no room for negligence.
I wonder what's gonna be the threat. Like, oh man, is it the spooky stuff from Sami? Is it the sea terrors? Is it something else?
Penguin Logistics has the qualities we're looking for, but Lungman is a long way from here. The process for bringing you on as a special consultant will be a little more complicated. Just sign here. Welcome to Novo Bolsini, Senorita Texas. Things are about to get busy. Excuse me, can you submit my application with Selenia's?
Hey, Giovanna. Long time no see.
We meet again, Selenia. Giovanna? I thought you wouldn't be coming back for a while after you left for Colombia. Has your journey for inspiration come to a close? Sora started her second Syracuse tour 2 months ago, didn't she? Did you notice the name Katarina Culture LLT? Katarina Culture Ltd on the sponsor list? Since when have you become so close with Sora? She's a friend too, one whom you've introduced me to. My injuries have healed, and I found new inspiration. It was time to come back. The happy times of the past may be gone, but that doesn't mean we can't create even happier stories ourselves. I need time to prepare before. Now I'm ready. And none too soon, I see. It seems you've made a decision too. Yes, things will be different between us now. I'm looking forward to it, Selenia. Father? Father Agnier? Oh, it's you. I wouldn't have realized that you were here that you were in Ovalcini if I didn't see your photo in the submissions for memories of the Carnival. Well, I didn't tell you or anyone else for that matter. Are you planning to leave now? I'll go back to Montelupe with you. There are certain things that I should explain to Signora Cecilia personally. Why? Huh? The city is just entering its second year. Its mayor has many things to attend to. Take it easy, young man. I'm loath to admit that we're like concerned parents who quietly follow their children the first time they go out on their own. But yes, I came to the city at Cecilia's behest. To see it, do what some people or declare a decree on her behalf, if it comes to that. But I did nothing. The Carnival had its little hiccups, but it's come to a satisfactory conclusion, hasn't it? In certain ways, it's true that you haven't completely fulfilled your promise to Cecilia to transform Nuovo Volsini into a new city that's totally different. I can't deny it. Well, Cecilia had much more on her plate when she first came back to Syracuse. It wasn't easy bringing guns in order to this country. Of course, you're facing more resistance than she did. That's why she wouldn't pour cold water in the fire of youth. She hasn't gotten that old. I'm not coming back with you to Montelupe to prostrate myself before Signora Cecilia and beg her for mercy. I have some plans about the future of Nuovo Volsini, about promoting the new Urban Management Act. Ah, very good then. I want to ask though, if you came to deal with problems, why didn't you do anything? I saw an old friend. How long has it been, Umberto? Father Agnier? I remember that you moved to Nuovo Volsini. Just thought I would drop by. Are you waiting for someone? Mafia killers or the Fangs? I don't know, but death will find me one way or another. I'm old enough. Sorry, it's been a long time since I walked into a church or offered a prayer for the dying. Some priest you are. I still remember the day we met. It never occurred to me in 1,000 years that I would be hired to kill a sancta, a priest no less. A moment of surprise was enough for you to pull a gun from your robes. I would never have gone back to being a tailor if not for you. All in the past. Why have you come to Nuovo Volsini tonight? It's a carnival. Any final wishes, Umberto? I'll see what I can do. No, father. None at all? I remember you have a grandson. Lucino, is it? There's only so much I can do for him. To me, he's my only family. To him, there'll be a day when I'm not his only family anymore. The future awaits the young.
Hey. And now to go to my lappy. And then later on tonight, I just gotta do the EX stages. Oh gosh. And redo those other stages. But for now, Lappy. Codename, or basic info. Codename Lapland. Gender, female. Combat experience, 8 years. Place of birth, Syracuse. Date of birth, November 11. Race, Lupo. Height, 162 centimeters. Infection status, Originium crystals distributed across surface of body. Confirmed infected by medical examination. Physical exam. Physical strength, excellent. Mobility, excellent. Physical resilience, standard. Tactical acumen, excellent. Combat skill, outstanding. Originium arts assimilation, excellent. Profile. Lapland, unemployed. I love that. The only daughter of Alberto Saluzzo, patriarch of the Syracusan Familia Saluzzo. She is currently separated from her family. Lapland excels in solo combat and often assists Rhodes Island in tactical arts assaults and elimination operations. Clinical analysis. Imaging tests show the distinct outlines of internal organs, obscured by abnormal shadows. Originium granules detected in the circulatory system. The subject is confirmed to be infected with uropathy. Cell originium assimilation, 14%. The originium crystals on Operator Lapland's body are still spreading. Blood originium crystal density, 0.33. Density has significantly increased compared to previous results. She's crazy. Patients like her are the most annoying to deal with. She's always so polite and cooperative when we're conducting tests, and even smiled when she while saying she'd take good care of herself as medical suggested. And look what happened. Can we just beat the daylights out of her so we can treat her here uninterrupted for a month? You wanna try? ... Archive file number 1. Lapland did not notify anyone before returning to the Rhodes Island landship. She suddenly showed up in HR's office, taking up half the sofa while her weapon occupied the other half. She looked as if she had just come back from traversing the wastes, covered in sand and dust. Had it not been for her gorgeous and somewhat extravagant Syracusan attire suggesting more to her story. Before she showed up, we learned from mission logs sent by the Novobosini branch about what happened at the Carnival, including the fact that city government had revoked all of her licenses and banned her from returning to the city. We tried to ask how she was related to the city's unrest, and nearly turned into a civil strife, but she did not shy away, giving us a rundown of what she did over the next 2 minutes. She spoke in a breezy tone, but the operator in charge of recording stopped writing, frozen with fear. According to her, what she did at the Carnival included, but was not limited to, helping strangers put Alberto, her own father and the head of the Familia Saluzzo, in prison, driving a cargo landship loaded with weapons into a massive parade crowd, and helping a Volpo mother exact vengeance. All of this to spice up Carnival. Honestly, shouldn't they have given me a medal? Lapland added after a brief pause. How else would they have been able to boast about how Novobosini has gotten off to a good start in reforming Syracusa? Though, she suddenly stops talking, looking at the operator recording her words, and asked, "What do you think? If the Carnival started like this, won't future Carnivals only get more and more boring?" With her signature smile on her face, it was hard to tell if she spoke with regret or schadenfreude. The operator was stunned and didn't know how to respond, so the conversation abruptly ended there. Archive File 2. Lapland and Texas bumped into each other in the Rose Island lounge. We have a rough understanding of the subtle relationship between the two operators. Everyone can still remember why Lapland joined Rhodes Island in the first place after all. After the collaboration between the Longman branch and the Penguin Logistics ended, she suddenly cornered one of her operators, handing over her resume with a smile, and, while resting her 2 strangely shaped blades on the operator's neck, asked, "Is Texas your employee?" Afterwards, be it a deliberate provocation, inexplicable adulation, or vague investigation, it is no secret that she's always set her sights in Texas, and thus we have prevented them from meeting directly. However, one time Texas unexpectedly returned to the landship, and by the time we were aware and tried to prevent them from meeting, she had already run to Lapland, who was drinking alcohol by herself in the break room. The operator who had rushed to get the situation under control came back silently and described what he saw with a confused look on his face. Lapland casually took a glass from the alcohol rack and poured a glass of amaretto whiskey, and Texas sat down, took the glass and drank it like it was just another normal day. Lapland nonchalantly asked Texas about her recent work as a special logistics consultant for Novobosini, and made a few casual jokes about the City Hall's attempt to promote the new Urban Management Act to other Syracusan cities, to which Texas replied with a few words. After finishing her drink, Texas leisurely stood up and left. And they even wished each other well before going on their separate ways. They seemed like nothing more than a pair of old friends who understood each other perfectly and had met up at an agreed time whilst going on their respective ways. To be honest, we have no clue what exactly happened. We only know that they had met a few times during the Carnival, so how did their relationship suddenly turn out like this? Had they resolved their differences and reconciled? Or is this another tug of war with a hidden turbulent undercurrent? Who knows? One day they might cross swords and stain the deck with blood. For a while after this, we continued to observe the two, who met up a few more times, but the general atmosphere was similar to the day in the break room. I'm tired. Tired of guessing what's going on between them. I don't care if those two have let go of their grievances or not, but at least they're no longer as tense as before, which saves us a lot of trouble. An HR operator in charge of observation. Archive File 3. Familia Saluzzo traces its origins to the Syracusan autonomous region 3 centuries ago. Syracusans see the family as extremely robust, even turning a mistake made an important point in history into a story of survival. In the late 1030s, when Signora Cecilia established the guns in order, there were many dissidents, Alberto's grandfather among them. During the most important revolution of modern Syracusan history, the head of Familia Saluzzo stood against Signora Cecilia, and this decision nearly spelled the end of the family. Several major opposition familiae were practically liquidated overnight, and Familia Saluzzo too suffered the Signora's retaliation. To spare the rest of his familia from suffering, Alberto's grandfather ultimately ended his life in his own study, and the ancient family established during Lithuanian rule that rose to the prominence by selling bootleg liquor to Gaul almost collapsed entirely. Fortunately, Alberto's father painstakingly brought his family into the Great Hall, and they became one of the Dodici Familiae. Though the family's prestige and power had yet to recover from prior shock, Alberto was born into and grew up in those circumstances, and took over the Familia's future from his father's hands. Excerpt from a special study in Syracusa conducted by a certain Columbian University. We once asked Lapland about Familia Saluzzo's situation, but she was uninterested and kept yawning in response, so we eventually abandoned our questions. Based on information later provided by HR, we managed to make a rough analysis of what happened. Alberto did not at all trust the emotions and legacy between the generations of his family. His grandfather's mistake during Signora Cecilia's reforms had, after all, brought upon disastrous consequences, but he was also disgusted by his father's harsh denouncements of his grandfather. And this distrust was passed down and reflected in his attitude towards his daughter. He had an almost perverted desire to control her, equipping her with an elite education, but also throwing her into the barrens as a child for training, and even expelling her from the family because of her various transgressions. Of course, this analysis is meaningless, for it is difficult for us to attribute Lapland's current behavior solely to a failed education, and would not explain her simultaneous politeness, aggressiveness, hunger for battle, and penchant for theatrics. After observing her for a long time, she seems to have been born mad, while her father and family's influence merely fanned the flames. Let's just settle Lapland's files as is. There's no point analyzing a lunatic's personality. Archive file number 4. Lapland's return to Rose Island has provoked strong reactions in some of our operators, in particular, Operator Luna Cub, who just recently recovered from rather serious injuries, suddenly began running down the landship corridors, excitedly shouting, "I finally saw Agnes again!" Or Operator Project Red, who would on occasion suddenly tense up, muttering words like "Grandma." Ah, yeah, because you're following Lappy. Meanwhile, Lapland would always just happen to be passing by, as if the one they were talking about were by her side. Wow. Classified log. Take good care of Red. The Signora de Lupi's game is over, but this child has grown up in such unusual circumstances and suffered so much deception and betrayal that it will take a long time to deal with. I came up with many ways of stopping her from ending up like this, but I still failed in the end. Fighting with each other is natural for the Signora de Lupi, but not every human who interacts with them can be as lucky as Luna Cub or Lapland to naturally integrate into a wolf pack, even becoming their sovereign in the latter case. I hear she's made a deal with the Emperor and the Duck Lord while representing the wolf pack. Beat Emperor, Duck Lord, or Signora de Lupi. I have dealt with many beings like them. They are immortal, and most find a way to get along with humans and live on this land with their unique character. I know, right, Duck Lord? I've also met humans with unusual life experiences, be it due to their ancestors' adventures or major catastrophes. They possess powers or insights beyond human limits and are closer to the former. Lapland seems to have been born this way. She's obviously still young, and her experiences aren't that out of the ordinary, but the boundaries of her are already blurred. She's embracing a certain kind of madness ordinary people would find difficult to comprehend, which is not a good thing. Continue watching over her, Doctor. Going back to our original topic, the Beast aristocrats may phrase it differently, but it all comes down to the same thing. They felt uneasy If even they feel threatened to the point of ignoring their respective traits so that they may contact each other and figure out a countermeasure, they must focus on what is causing their nervousness. Promotion record, Lucino recognized a special client. She once opened the doors of Taylor de Montano and offered 2 Carnival outfits of the highest quality in one breath. And ordered 2 Carnival outfits of the highest quality in one breath. And even personally drew the familiar pattern she wanted on the costumes by hand. This time, she was still wearing one of the outfits, but the Carnival mask that used to be sitting at her waist was now missing. Unlike a traditional Syracusan suit, the mask is the most important part of the Carnival outfit, and the most unique visualization of the event. Lucino could not ignore the missing mask and boldly asked why. "I gave it away." That is how the client responded. It was not de Montano's professionalism that led him to ask the question, but Lucino still expressed his willingness to make her a new mask and complete her outfit. After all, he knew who his client was. It would be best if she had the mask ready for any future carnivals. Nono had already passed a long time ago, and his current skills were already up to par. So as the current manager of de Montano, he was obliged to maintain any relationships with old clients, no matter who they were. No need, little Taylor. Is there a difference between wearing one mask and wearing 2? The outfit is clearly already complete. Oh man. And now for the last thing of the night, Hour of the Wolf. And as you can see, ta-da! Max. Okay, so it's a stopwatch. Pocket watch thingy. It's almost 8. She's out by the forest, and now she's getting impatient. Whatever happens, she needs to be home before 9. A rule her father made, she's allowed to die, but not break this rule. So she has made herself a rule too. Before 8, finish everything she has to finish, and kill everyone she has to kill. But she hasn't finished her job today. The enemies had more forces and hidden than the Saluzos expected, and things are getting bogged down. Her guys had the ride home already. She knows her father doesn't give a shit about her results, just that she's punctual, so she chooses to get on, but the enemy chose this moment to lose a pack of trained Tuspies, a handful of which breached the vicinity and charged straight toward the wheels, aimed straight for her throat. They can't get near her, of course. She dodges them easily and decapitates them in the same motion. Still, something tells her they slashed something on her. She looks down. It was a pocket watch. They scratched the glass face and left a real deep claw mark. She can't tell the time through it. A hint of nerves immediately bolts through her. Right after that, a surprising sense of relief. The tension she felt a moment ago vanishes into thin air. "Let me out," she suddenly says. Her goons push back as hard as they can, but she gets out anyway, and paces one step at a time towards the forest. Tick-tock, tick-tock, it's 8 o'clock. She paces into its depths, vanishing without a trace. Today, it'll take her the dead of night before she's kill them all. And only at the crack of dawn will she finally tripsy back to the Saluzzo's door. Today, Alberto will fly off his goddamn handle. Today, Lapin will smile, a big happy smile. There's a story that goes like this. A girl gets a spell cast on her that turns her beautiful, but then she'll turn back right at the stroke of midnight. Idly fiddling with her watch, she throws it out a sudden remark. "Zaro, you scared the magic will run out? Scared that you'll just die like a nameless tusk beast out in the barrens where nobody will ever know?" What a fool's question. You disrespect the Signor de Lupi's very nature. You know, most humans, the ones you see as toys, they think the same way. And in my eyes, you're all the same. You think the spell cast at you will last forever and ever, and there will come a moment, the magic wears off, and you howl like a mutt, how it wasn't meant to be this way. What? And you think you're an exception? No, Zaro. I think that's when you get to see the real me. She places the watch on her ear, to her ear, shuts her eyes, and oh so softly taps at the shell, in time with a faint second hand. Tick-tock, tick-tock, it's 8 o'clock. Alrighty. Oh man, the next time we see Nova Volsini, I wonder what's gonna happen next. I want to see the outfit that Lapland ordered for her dad. Yeah, let's let Lapland cook. I want to see the outfit she gave her dad, and heck, I also want to see how it's gonna turn out with the wolf pack as well. I think that's hilarious how she's just like, you know what, follow me guys. I'll be your new leader. They're like, sure. You know what, that sounds fun. I like you. Girl, I respect you. Oh gosh, I'll touch this stuff later. Eee! The event was fun. But oh my goodness. I do wish Summer survived though. Like, that's the only thing. Oh, Summer. Summer. Gosh darn it. But hey, overall, it was pretty wholesome. I do think it's hilarious how it all started off with a big misunderstanding. Or it was all just a coincidence, honestly. But at the same time, it's a good thing that it was a coincidence rather than, you know, something that was actually like planned. I wonder what's bothering the Beast Lords. And I want to meet that Duck Lord especially. Like, Duck Lord sounds fun. And I'm curious how Cecilia's gonna react to how Nuovo Volsini turns out. I'm rooting for Dimitri, guys. It's gonna be hilarious how upset Alberto's gonna be in prison. Oh man, it'll be funny if there's another prison event just for Alberto. Ducklord's gonna be amazing when they eventually show up. I hope we get to see him sooner than later though. Oh well. But for now I gotta be good and actually farm the event more. Do those EX stages or at least try them. Before it ends, hehehe. I got this though. It'll be fine. All is good in the world. So with that being said, thank you for stopping by the stream. I hope everyone has a great rest of your epic gacha luck. I'm happy that there was no scuff tonight. Like, oh my goodness. I hope I didn't jinx that just now, but yay. Bye-bye. No scuff, please. I dealt with enough.